What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris Style
Mal.
Podcast, episode 266, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good Monday, whatever you're doing. You're at home, you're at work. We appreciate you tapping into the live stream. If you're listening on the playback, we appreciate you too. Leave a comment in the comment section. Got a few things to get into today. We got some NBA stuff, some WNBA stuff going on. Had some trades go down. Also, gonna go into our AFC East, our division breakdowns. We're gonna do the AFC East today. We also got some college football pyramid we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about the Big 12, also Maul's random news, and yeah, man, get into some stuff today. Before we get into that, Maul, how you feeling, sir?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. We in August, man. Football season is here. First preseason game is on Thursday, so we all know how that's gonna work. We're all gonna be super excited once that kickoff comes, and then after like 5-10 minutes, we're all gonna be bored of it and ready for the NFL season. But man, excited to talk about the topics, man. How we feeling today, my brother?
I'm feeling cool, other than, some little technical difficulties. We got started a little earlier, but my computer started tripping and stuff. So
yeah, shit happens.
Happens. All right, man, let's get into it, man. NBA news. You got something for us?
Yeah, man, we got a couple things, man, on the docket, man. So we're gonna get a little bit more into what's been going on with the Portland Trailblazers. I have a clip here with Bill Simmons. He kind of comments on his opinion about the whole situation. I'll play this clip, man, and we'll get it going.
Down. And my fear for people in Portland is that he looked at what the expansion numbers would be, which everybody's saying between 7 and 8. And he's like, I could just steal Portland for 4.25, whatever it ended up being. And then I'll just move them somewhere else. And yeah. I think Kansas City I mentioned them a couple weeks ago, and I think I was the first one to mention it. First of all, Kansas City could make an argument. They maybe should have a team. Like they've really grown. They have a state-of-the-art arena. They've hosted big events. I think the city's grown. They're in a part of the country that they don't really have. Like, I think they would help. They'd help with conference alignment, but I wouldn't be Portland. And what's dangerous about Kansas City is they'll take any team, right? Portland's not moving to Seattle. Seattle doesn't want the Trailblazers. They have a long rivalry and a history, and they know what it's like when you lose the team. I don't think they're going to want that. They didn't really want Sacramento either. They want like an expansion team. But I think Kansas City would be the one I'd be worried about, especially one of the minority owners is a St. Louis guy. Dundon's from Dallas. That's another thing that doesn't add up. You're from Dallas. You own Carolina. Why are you buying the Trailblazers? Right? There's just a lot to work with this, and none of it is really that good for the city.
All right, that was Bill Simmons' comments on everything that's been happening with the Portland Trailblazers, and I brought that on because he specifically mentioned your city as a potential candidate to be able to take this team away from the Portland Trailblazers. What are your thoughts with what Bill Simmons said about your city being the potential spot of the Portland Trailblazers if that were to happen?
I mean, I know I sound biased, but I agree with him because I feel like Kansas City is showing that they're not just a football city because of the Chiefs or whatever, but they're showing that they're a sports town too, because you saw with the World Cup how everybody showed up and showed out for the World Cup, man. And it was packed house at Arrowhead. It didn't even look like Arrowhead, you know what I'm saying? The soccer team had pretty much took over, and it looked like a whole new stadium out there. So with the revamp of all the teams that are getting new stadiums and all that stuff, and with the thriving other teams that are there, Sporting KC Current, you got the Kansas City Monarchs that are there. There are other sports, college. You got Mizzou, you got Kansas. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very good college, feel to it, especially with basketball. You got Kansas, of course. Jayhawks are always going to be looked at as national champion or national title contenders. Mizzou is up on the uptick. You know what I'm saying? They're showing that they're a viable threat, also, and then in football too. So I think it's a good sports town. I think the city of Kansas City would embrace an NBA team because they've been clamoring for an NBA team. So if Portland were to choose to go to Kansas City, I think that'd be a good move for Portland because I think that the fan base would definitely embrace it.
No, I think it's definitely an interesting take. You know, I kind of brought up the whole situation of maybe Portland could be the resolution up in there in Seattle, but I think Bill Simmons made some prominent points about that whole situation over there. I think the city of Seattle would prefer to have an expansion team with the Supersonics and kind of have a clean slate with everything. Maybe get something where they can get all the history back from the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder and that fan base over there in Oklahoma City have been open to being able to give them back their history and what Seattle has been known for. Look, I think Kansas City is a viable option. You know what I mean? I think with the light of how the city of Kansas City handled the whole World Cup, I think may have opened even more eyes. I think Kansas City has always been kind of like the city of true potential to maybe add an NBA team. Obviously, we know it's a big football state, but I think there could be some avenues, and as well as baseball. But I think there could be some avenues with basketball as well. I think basketball in the Midwest has grown a lot, especially with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously, you have the likes of Dallas Mavericks and all that, and San Antonio Spurs, Houston Rockets, and all that. Not more towards the south, but I still put them on in close to the same region. But I think it will be interesting. You know what I mean? I think Kansas City does have that appetite for a basketball team. I think they've made that known. You would know it better than me. They do have the facilities to be able to have said team. I still think it would be a sad moment for Portland to be. I would rather Kansas City have the opportunity to have its own expansion team. I don't know if you want to go through the Tom Dundon experience, you know what I mean, with that ownership. But I think Kansas City, if any city does take that, I think Kansas City should be an option. I think Nashville should be an option. One of those two cities, and I think they will do well because I think they will get a groundswell of support. And I also do. He also did make a statement that I think it could be a situation where Tom Dundon sees this as a potential to have kind of an expansion team for half the price because of the said money that is projected to be for Las Vegas, for Seattle, if those do go through, of $8 billion to $10 billion. He could see this as kind of like, how frugal he is. It's kind of like a bargain deal for him to be able to move a team to where he wants to go. He is a Dallas guy, so I think he would probably more suit for the Kansas City area. He'll probably represent that a little bit better, more so than the Northwest. But I think it'll be interesting. I think we're going to hear some news. I even saw some reports, people who are very close to the Portland Trailblazers situation where I guess they had a meeting with certain city officials and it didn't really go too well. And it's kind of looking like, it's looking more leaning towards that they're trying to get him out there. He wants to get that team out of Portland. But again, he has to go through a whole bunch of other owners and Adam Silver. And even if they want to prove that, and I think it would be kind of hard to convince him because I do think they love that market. But we shall see. I just think it puts more of a light of Kansas City potentially getting a team down the future if this does go through. Yeah. We'll keep it moving. We got some Zach LaVine news. Zach LaVine has been making the news with him and his relationship with the Sacramento Kings. We all know the dysfunction that's been happening around that team for several years. It seems like they're itching to get Zach LaVine off this team. There were rumors of a potential maybe buyout talks. I did see some reports that the Sacramento Kings do not want to do that in a sense currently right now. They would prefer to do a trade. My question to you, sir, is do you think it's time for the Sacramento teams to split part ways with Zach LaVine? And what teams could you potentially see him that he could fit and make an impact on a particular team?
I mean, yeah, if there's dysfunction there and they don't want him on there, then go ahead and part ways with Zach LaVine. No sense of having a disgruntled player on your squad, let him go somewhere else where he could be happy and you guys can move on. So as far as his fit, Zach LaVine is a very good scorer. He's never been, to me, the guy on the team. He's an added addition guy. Like if he's like the number 2, number 3 option on your squad, then I think he could help a team. I think he definitely could help a team. Maybe Houston, maybe I mean, I'm not saying this is gonna help them win championships, but Golden State, maybe, what I'm saying? Maybe you could go there and help out. Maybe go. Well, no, I would say go back to Chicago, go play with Caleb Williams, but you know,
that's not
Wilson.
that's
I
not
mean,
happening.
if he wants to be if he don't care about winning, go to Brooklyn. Man.
Yeah.
He don't care about winning. I mean, maybe go to Miami, go play with Giannis, and Bam. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
go down there or something. I mean, like I said, he would be an added addition to whatever team if he goes to a contender, maybe Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Like him and Donovan Mitchell would be a good little tandem together. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
any team that has somebody who needs a score. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I think he could help out over there in Detroit. You know what I'm saying, with Cade Cunningham. So teams like that.
Yeah, no, I think it's clearly that this situation needs to end. It seems like there's just bad blood between both of these both parties. I think the two teams that Zach LaVine should potentially consider linking up if there is an opportunity is, I agree with you. I think the Miami Heat, they need shooting. They need 3-point shooting. Zach LaVine is known for that. He can space out the floor. You have another person who can create his own offense. They need as much shooting as possible over there in Miami. I think that would be a great spot. I think another great spot would be the Detroit Pistons. They need another scorer, another ball handler with Cade Cunningham, and I think he can have a real big impact. He could be a 10 times better version of Malik Beasley. I know Zach LaVine gets a lot of He gets criticized a lot with certain play styles that he has. I just think he's been on so many bad teams. I just think it's just hard for him to get over kind of like that perception of him. I think he can be a winning basketball player. Obviously, there are some things in his game that could be better defensively and stuff like that, maybe taking some better shots. But I think overall, I don't think he's a bad player at all. I think he can help a particular type of franchise. I just think he needs a breath of fresh air when you're in an organization like that and you're just beriddled with just losing and just kind of like that kind of aura of just bad aura, bad vibes. It's just you're gonna reap that into your soul, into your aura. It's just not gonna project well on the court. So I get out of there as fast as you can, Zach, and I'm rooting for you. Hopefully you can go to one of those two other franchises, and I think they will be itching to get you on that team. Another quick news: we got Dallas Mavericks for Najee Marshall. He signed a 3-year deal for $52.2 million. I think it's a really decent signing, something that they need to do. We like that a lot. Other news we have. Let's see, what else do we have? Do we have anything else? That's it for random. That's it for NBA news. I could put some of that stuff on random. No, you know what? I got one more. Klay Thompson. He's also a free agent as well. Not a free agent. He's on the Mavericks, but there is certain we don't know what they're going to do, whether it's a buyout situation with him or a potential trade situation. Where could you potentially see Klay Thompson? A lot of people would love to, bring him back to Golden State and kind of relive those days. There's also some rumors of him being open to going to the Lakers or the Clippers and being close to home. What would be some spots that you could see Klay Thompson going if he does not stay with the Dallas Mavericks?
I can see the Clippers being a good spot for him. Go ahead and end your career off there, bro. You know what I'm saying? And just ride off in the sunset in your home state. You know what I'm saying? And play there. I think he would have a better chance to start there too. I think with your Lakers, he's definitely coming off the bench. So
yeah, he's definitely coming off the bench. I would throw the Miami Heat in there. I would throw the Detroit Pistons. Again, they need scorers. They need other aspects. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Philly gets mentioned, depending on how much money he's seeking. I wouldn't be surprised with that situation. A Houston Rockets situation, I wouldn't mind that. I think they can use some more shooting on that team as well. I think he has options. Maybe the Phoenix Suns, pair up and, be with Devin Booker and Jalen Green. He adds more. Match for that. They're more of a fast-paced team. I can see him being involved with that. My heart with Klay Thompson is go back to the Warriors, man. Go back to the Warriors, man. Go back, pair up with Steph, see if you guys can get something out of that. We all know that organization isn't really going anywhere. If Steph does not decide to get traded, Draymond Green's back for a year. Why not bring the guy back? I think it would be some good, especially for Steph Curry and kind of the mindset, because we all know he's probably a little bit depressed with that. Their window is pretty much closed. So why not bring back the old crew and have a little fun and just see what they can do? Maybe it might spark a Clay into having, resurgence into his career a little bit. And he already knows the system. He already knows how to run it. They can use another 2 guards. So I think that could be another situation for him as well. All right, man. That's it for NBA news for today.
For sure, man. All right, man. Let's do our AFC East division. We're gonna do what we call temperature check. I'm gonna pull this up. This is something we're doing new for this off season, where we're gonna do different segments about the AFC East today. We're gonna do this for all the divisions this year. So we did the NFC East last week, so now we're doing the AFC East. So I'll go first with this one. Overall division strength 1 through 10. I ain't gonna lie to you, Mal, this was a little difficult because you got 2 teams that are Super Bowl contenders, and then you got 2 teams that are probably gonna be top 5 picks.
Yeah.
So it's like you got the best of the best in the AFC and the worst of the worst in the AFC.
True.
So it's like, all right, how do I weigh this out? So I just went with a 6.5 because I just think the Jets and the Dolphins are just so bad. It's just like it's hard to I know, like I said, the Patriots, and you can see the Patriots or even the Bills, even though they haven't got over that hump, you still see them going to the Super Bowl this season. So I gave it a 6.5 as far as the strength goes. Best quarterback, come on, man. I mean, I know Drake May is emerging, but we still got to see it again. Josh Allen's the best quarterback in this division. It's not even close. You know what I'm saying? So, best coach, Mike Vrabel. You know what I'm saying? Mike Vrabel is the best coach in this division. He showed it last year. And then I say the toughest place to play, I would say Gillette Stadium. I think going to New England is still a tough place to play, especially in the winter times. It gets cold out there. I've heard some of the, even though it was in the Tom Brady years, I've heard the horror stories of playing in Gillette Stadium, and the phones don't work, and where they talking to the intercom to get the plays out sometimes be messing up. So I heard it's real difficult out there. So yeah, I say Gillette Stadium is the toughest place to play.
For sure. As far as like the strength of the division, I agree with you. It was kind of really tough for me in a sense because it's so top heavy in a sense. Like you have 2 teams, as you said before, that could be the elite teams. They're going to be one of the two elite teams in the NFL. With some of I think the Jets are an interesting team. I think they have a lot of youthful talent, and I do love their head coach. I am a big Aaron Glenn fan. We just got to see what that produces, and a lot of that comes down to Geno Smith and what he can do as a quarterback with this team. But I do like the youth that they have. I think the Dolphins are just kind of like in this sunken place. Like I think you have a young head coach that we do not understand. We got Malik Willis, who played well with the Packers, but could he just been more of he just fit that system with what they had going on, or could he, he's fighting for a starting role, you know what I mean? And especially with all the talent that's coming out in this year's draft, this could be a 1-year thing. I gave it a 6. I was kind of near you. I just gave it a 6. I just think that the 2 teams at the top are just so good. I just gave them an extra point on that division. And then I think the Jets have potential, but again, it's just a lot of youthfulness on that team that we just don't know. So I gave it a 6. As far as like best QB, it's very easy. It's Josh Allen. It's not even close. Like I know Drake May had an MVP style year, but it's Josh Allen, bro. It's gonna be Josh Allen for a very long time. Best coach, it's Mike Vrabel. I am a big Aaron Glenn fan, but I just think what Mike Vrabel has done for the Patriots and had a quick turnaround with them. I know he's been in he's made a lot of news in the offseason, a lot of distraction, but we can't deny who he is as a coach. He showed it in Tennessee. He's showing again in the Patriots. So is that as far as like toughest places to play, I went with Buffalo. I understand your whole precedent with the Gillette Stadium, and a lot of that has to do with them cheating in a sense. You know what I mean? I don't think it's more so that obviously the atmosphere is like it's okay, but I think the atmosphere in Buffalo is just more. I know they got the new stadium. There's going to be kind of like this hopefully new vibrance, hopefully they get all that negative stuff that happened in the old stadium. You get the new stadium, put some new aura and some new energy, some new vibes. Maybe it gets them over the hump, but I think it'll be very interesting. I think the most hype, I think the number one most expensive ticket right now is the Buffalo Stadium opening game. I think week 2. So I think the aura as far as with Buffalo playing in Buffalo, cold weather and all that, and then you looking at Josh Allen at the other end. I think that's scary enough playing in it. I think that's one of the toughest places to play as far as like in this division.
For sure. All right, man. Let's talk some WNBAs. The trade deadline was yesterday.
Yeah,
and some couple of a big trade happened yesterday. We all heard rumors that Kelsey Plum was on the trading block, and I even told you in text message where I think she should have went, but she ended up getting traded to the Phoenix Mercury. I think the Los Angeles Sparks are trying to do their best to tank so they can get Juju's.
Yeah, we all know what's up. Yeah, we all know what's up. Yeah, we know what's up.
They want to get Juju in LA. So, but she got traded. The Sparks end up receiving Monique Makana, plus some future draft picks. What are your overall thoughts on this? Do you think this makes the Mercury better? Do you think this will help them to get into playoff contention?
No, obviously it does make them better. Like Kelsey Plum was having like MVP style numbers, you know what I mean, before she got injured. They're 11-19. You got about 14 games left. They're gonna have to go on like a mean ass run. They're gonna have to win like 12 games for them to have an opportunity to get back, and obviously have some teams kind of lose. So as far as them getting into playoff contention, I think it's gonna be very, very tough. I would have rather see Kelsey Plum get traded to a contending team. I know you stated that the Liberty should have made the call for her. They've been kind of struggling a little bit.
Just saying, her and Anescu in the backcourt, like, come on.
Yeah, nah, for real. I think that would have probably been a better fit for sure. Definitely helped them. But overall, man, we all know what the Sparks are doing, man. They're setting themselves up to get the future. There's a lot. It's like when you think about it, WNBA is about to get a whole slew of talent here in the next like 4 to 5 years. That's just gonna, I think expansion talks is gonna get even more rampant with just the amount of talent that's gonna be in this league. But yeah, I think Kelsey Plum, she's gonna make a difference, but I think they're just too far behind for them to have an actual impact to make the playoffs. 11-19. I think the next best team is that Liberty team, and I think they're about like six or 7 games back from them. So it's just I don't see them making the playoffs, honestly.
Me neither. Even though I think they do have talent, you're adding Kelsey Plum with Alyssa Thomas and Kalea Cooper, Dewana Barnes. She just scored like 20-something points the other day. They got a nice little squad. Kalea Cooper, she's another one. But I think it's just a little bit too late. You know what I'm saying? If you were going to make this trade, you should have made this trade like a month ago. You know what I'm saying? Then we might have been talking about a little something different. Oh, look at the Mercury. They balling. They got Kelsey Plum. But, and then even if they did get in the playoffs, they're probably going to be bounced because they're not better than the Dream. They're not better than the Aces. They're definitely not better than the Lynx. So it's just like, it would be an uphill battle. But do I think she'll be an added addition for next season? Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying she would definitely make the Mercury better and something to look at whatever they add in the off season next year. Yeah, for sure. But as far as this season, I think that there'll be some games where you'll look at the Mercury and be like, oh, okay, I can see where it's going. But I think it's just a little bit too late for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kelsey Plum got traded in the offseason again. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because I think the Mercury are kind of in a weird place. You have veteran leadership in Dewana Bonner and Alyssa Thomas that I think they could be useful in other aspects because it's the West is only going to get tougher. Like I know Seattle is in the gutter right now. They're in potential ranks of they potentially could get Juju at this rate as well. So you put Juju with Awa and those ladies, I think that could boost Seattle into some great light. So I won't be surprised if Phoenix decides to blow this up. Trade Dewana, trade Alyssa, trade Kelsey, get some assets, get some picks. There's a lot of youthful young ladies who are ultra talented. Hannah Hidalgo, a whole bunch of ladies coming in this league very soon. Yeah. That you can build around them. You know what I mean? So, and then you could get some high quality assets for Alyssa Thomas. You can get some high quality assets for Kelsey Plum. You can get some high quality assets for Dewana Bonner. You keep Kalea Cooper with her youthfulness, and you add around her. You add some more talent. I think that's what the Mercury should do, me personally. But we'll see. We'll see what they do in offseason.
Also, the Toronto Tempo, they traded for Anisha Morrow from the Connecticut Sun. So they brought Anisha over. Anisha, when she's ever to get opportunities, she's shown flashes. I think she'll definitely help this Toronto Tempo team. They got some talent on that squad, so I think this should definitely help out. You know what I'm saying? They're still, I think there's some years away, but still, I think Toronto Tempo will be better with this signing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So far, what's your overall feelings, man? Right now, we look at the standing, the Minnesota Lynx are clear-cut best team in the league right now with Olivia Miles.
They had a big game yesterday against the
Fever. They did. Olivia Miles, she balled out. They asked her about Caitlin Clark. She was like, "Man, I ain't worried about no Kelsey Mitchell over here."
Kelsey Mitchell's the one kicking our ass, not Caitlin Clark. Which I'm like, bruh, thank God. I'm like, bruh, it's just like, bro, stop talking to me about Caitlin Clark. Like, I would understand if Caitlin was the one that had 20 plus points, but it was Kelsey Mitchell out there cooking it. So
37.
I'm like, why you keep? I'm just talking about at halftime. I'm like,
that's what I'm saying.
She had like 23 or something like that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, why are you bringing up Caitlin Clark? It's like, throw the light onto the actual lady who's been the MVP of the squad. I get it. Caitlin Clark had the 40-point triple-double or whatever the case may be. That's cool. I'm not denying what Caitlin Clark, she's been balling out and stuff like that. But like Kelsey Mitchell has had 20 points the last, 14 games straight or something like that. I think she tied the record with what Asia Wilson had this past game. You know what I mean? And she's been a real MVP. We've been saying this for the last year or two, me and you, that I know everybody wants to put Caitlin Clark on this top pedestal, but I'm be honest with you, Caitlin Clark ain't even the best player on her team. She ain't even the second best player on her team. It goes Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, then Caitlin Clark, and then after that it's like a distant fourth. But at the end of the day, it's just like people need to recognize, and I know everybody probably think I'm the number one Caitlin Clark hater. They might be right. You know what I mean? I think it's more so I hate her fan base. I hate the Fever fans. I hate who she associates herself with, even though I had this whole conversation with you last Monday where I think, it's interesting how other black WNBA superstars who are very pro-black respond to her and they like her a lot. But, just her fan base is just, I just can't wrap my head around it. But overall, I think Kelsey Mitchell should be the star. I think she's been playing exceptionally well. Olivia Miles, is she the best rookie since Candace Parker, probably? Where I think she has the potential to be rookie of the year and maybe even finals MVP.
She might be, dog, because she's amazing, dog. she just looks like a vet. She don't play like a rookie. No. She's one of those girls. She's one of those players. I don't even say girls. She's one of those players where it's like maybe college is just holding her back. What I'm saying?
I think college does that a lot. You know what I mean? I think superstars of colleges are always the head coaches. You know what I mean? In every sport.
Yeah, I just think she was holding her back. Like she's able to play a lot more free, play her game, and then you add Nafisha Collier, who's getting her legs back under her. She's scoring like 19.
She hasn't even hit her peak yet. Like,
Courtney Williams, she's a good, guard that scores. She can score 20 in any given night.
Kayla
McBride, she's a ball. Like, Link are just a well-oiled machine. And if we got to be honest with us, I know we Aces fans over here, but if Nafisha doesn't get hurt, I think that Lynx team looks a lot different. I think they beat the Mercury for sure.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I agree with you. I think the Lynx should be the favorites. Even with my Aces, I love Asia and all them. There are certain things with the Aces. Again, like I still have this mindset that the Aces are just going through the motions with the regular season. I still think it's going to be Aces Lynx in the NBA Finals, WNBA Finals. I do, and I will always ride with my girl. I'm always going to pick Asia because Asia is still. Don't get it twisted, people. Don't get it twisted. Asia is still the best player in the WNBA.
You see what she's scoring,
and it's
dog?
still not close. And it's still not close. Let's be real. Let's keep it P. Let's keep it P. Asia is still aiming close. All respect to Olivia Miles. Olivia Miles is the second best player in the WNBA right now. I honestly believe that. Asia is number one by a fucking mile. Olivia Miles will eventually start climbing because Asia Wilson, as she get older, she will decline a little bit. We all know it's all father time. But as long as Asia Wilson is 100% healthy and she still has everything, she don't get no serious injury, she's gonna be the best player. And I will always take Asia Wilson over anybody. I think we match up well with the Lynx. They're going to be super tough. But I do like some of the additions that the Aces did. You know, obviously it did suck with the whole situation.
Kennedy Carter.
With Kennedy Carter, it did suck. We had a lot of high hopes for her, but I think the writing was on the wall after we started seeing certain things off the court that just wasn't meshing well. You know what I mean? I think Asia and them, I think they really tried. But at the end of the day, the Lynx, Olivia Miles, I think she's the runaway. I personally would not be shocked if they might give her MVP. I wouldn't be surprised because I think you're gonna get some Asia Wilson. Like, all right, man, like, are we really gonna vote for her? Like, you know, give her 4 MVPs and all that. I think she should be. She's
going 30, dog.
I know. Don't get me wrong. I think she's the MVP, but I just know how we all know how voters are. Yeah. They just be like, man, dude, we get tired of voting. Yeah, they get fatigued with the situation. You see Olivia Miles, she's the new car, which is she's rightfully deserved. You got a girl like Kelsey Mitchell, even though I think they're a little bit too far back in the standings for her to be able to get there. I think Kelsey Mitchell should be up there with some talk as well for MVP. I just can see it. I can see it, but again, like if the Aces go on a little run, they catch them. I don't know if the Aces play the Lynx again.
We played them sometime this week. We got a gauntlet this week. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah. We got the Liberty tomorrow.
We got Atlanta tonight.
No. We got Atlanta tonight. Excuse me. We got Atlanta tonight. We got the Fever on Thursday. We're at the Lynx. We're at the Liberty. Then we got Washington back to back. Then we got Minnesota back here on Saturday. I might go to that game. I might go to that game on the 15th. I would like to see Olivia Miles in person. It's 5 p.m. 5 p.m. I might have to go to that game. That's gonna be. Yeah, you know what? I might go to that game. And then we got we got about a good solid 2 weeks of like roughness.
Yeah, we got a
I'm gonna be let's now this look. Aces. If the Aces go through this motherfucker and they go through this motherfucker, they do some shit like they did last year and they sweep this shit, nigga, it's over. It's over. I think if the Aces go what? Let's look at the schedule. Let's say I think tomorrow. I think we have a good number against Atlanta. I think we win. I think we beat I think we're gonna get our leap back with the Fever. I can see that. The Minnesota game is gonna be ultra telling. I can't wait to watch that game. That's gonna be ultra telling.
We barely Liberty, beat them. We barely beat them without Nafisha.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Liberty, I think we win. Washington, I think we win. Washington, even though like a lot of balling. They've been balling, and like we did lose to them 1 point. They hit the game winner. We've been honestly the thing with the Aces though. We've been losing to some bad teams. You know what I mean? Me personally, like teams that we shouldn't really lose to.
Hey, shout out to Sydney Taylor. She hit that game winner. I guess it's the other day with Chicago Sky. Hey, Chicago Sky. Not the sidebar, not to cut you off. But Chicago Sky, man. Put some pieces around Sydney Taylor. Y'all done found a gem. That girl is balling, dog. Like if it wasn't for Olivia Miles, she'd be rookie of the year.
True that. That's true. That's true. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. These next 2 weeks. Very, very tough stretch for the Aces. But again, this could bring the energy back. Like they could slowly start getting into playoff mode, which they're a veteran-laden team. They know what they gotta do. They're still number 2. As far as like how inconsistent I think the Aces have been playing, they haven't even hit their peak. we're still number 2 in the entire league. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Mhm.
I'm not really worried.
I'm not
But
worried
I think this could be the stepping stone where I think Asia's gonna get those girls. But all right, this is our time. Let's get in some playoff mode. Let's get to where we need to be. And this is these next 2 weeks are gonna tell us where we officially are amongst the ranks of the best. And I think at the said end of it, who knows? We could be number 1 overall. Going into the playoffs. So this is going to be a very exciting week. If you're an Aces fan, next 2 weeks, lock the fuck in. Lock in. This is big time.
Yeah. Golden State's right behind us too. They ain't playing.
Golden State hooping. Golden State hooping. They don't even have their star player in Gabby. So she been out, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think I was watching last week, but my God, she was
they're well-oiled machine, dog.
Boy.
They just play. Their
I ain't talking about
really
that. I'm saying she looked good on that bench, though. She looked good on that bench.
Listen, I saw a video yesterday with Derek Amy. How you doing? That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, Awa, salute, my girl. You're killing it. We love it. We love you over here.
I'm gonna send him all that video.
I haven't seen that one.
See what she got on key. All right, man. Let's go back to the AFC East division. We're gonna do team files now. Pull this up. All right, man. Wow, this is the wrong one. Did I pick the wrong one? I picked the wrong one, people. Oh well. This is what we'll do. I will just do it from my phone and just ask Maul the question. All right, so when we do team files, we do the biggest strength, biggest weakness, one must prove player, ceiling, and floor for each team. So, sir, I'm gonna let you go first this time.
All right, are we doing all the teams or are we doing one by one?
Just do the whole team.
Just do the whole thing.
Do all 4 teams. Yeah.
All right, for sure. I'm gonna start with the New York Jets. As far as strength, I'm gonna go with youthful insurgents. I love the additions with Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq. You got Amon Bimbu. Obviously, Mimbu. Obviously, we like to see him play a little bit better than what he did last year, but he still has some potential. David Bailey. I'm really a big fan of D'Angelo Pons, what he did in Indiana. I know he's dealing with, I think, like a calf injury or hamstring injury or something like that, but I do like what he has. So I do like the youthful insurgents that they do have. We just don't know what they're going to come about, but I think they do have a lot of potential. As far as like weakness, I think it's easy. I think you got to go with quarterback play. Geno Smith coming off a bad year, and I think a lot of that had to do with the coaching and what the Raiders and my team were dealing with Pete Carroll and his son and that whole O-line situation. That might have been one of the worst O-lines of like all time, coaching-wise as well. I think he will be behind a better coaching staff, a little bit better O-line. I will see him be better, but it is still Geno Smith. You know what I mean? So QB play is going to be very, very inconsistent. As far as like must-prove players, it's going to be interesting. I think Amon Mimbu has a lot to prove with him being one of the top picks last year, and you want to see the improvement with him on that right side. But I'm also going to pick David Bailey. You know what I mean? I know there was a lot of conversation, the rotation on who was going to be the best defensive end and stuff like that. A lot of conversations going into the draft, so I put him there as well. As far as like my ceiling for the Jets, I'm gonna go 500 football team. If everything goes correct, maybe they can be 7-7, or now, like 7-7, something like that. Floor, number 1 overall pick. It's very easy, very easy. For the Miami Dolphins, the strength with them, I think the running game, Devon Achane, he's probably one of the best players that they do have. I think he'll be the most consistent thing that they will have on that team. The weakness is the unknown. You know what I mean? We just don't know with this team, with the coaching. They got a brand new head coach, the talent that they have, and obviously the QB play. We don't know what we're going to get with Malik Willis. We I did mention that before. Is he just a system guy with what the Packers had going on? He just, was in that system for a little bit. He just got comfortable with it. Or can he be the guy that can, run the team and get them, and be a focal point and a QB franchise quarterback? I think that's going to be one of the more interesting things about this team. Must-prove player, I think it's Malik Willis, and proving that he can be a starting quarterback. Another guy I would put on there is Chop Robinson. There was a lot of hype with him coming into the league, the inconsistent play with him, but we got to see what's up. As far as like a ceiling team, the most I could see them winning is like maybe 5 games. You know what I mean? I think they're just going to be an overall just bad team, me personally. Floor wise, it's number 1 pick. Same situation. With the New England Patriots, my strength with them is I just think they're a well-rounded team. From coaching to offense to defense to special teams. I just think they're probably one of the most well-rounded teams that you have. And plus you got the addition of AJ Brown. So you spruced up that side of the ball with the wide receiving core. You get a number 1 guy. That might have been one of the things that they could have upgraded on, which they did. So I think that'll be right there. My weakness would probably be the left tackle, Will Campbell. I think that situation with the inconsistency play and how bad he played towards the end of the year. He already had some interesting quotables when he came into the draft with the short arms and stuff like that. He definitely has he's definitely probably my weakness. I also put him in my must prove. Will Campbell, he has to prove that he could be the future left tackle of this team. Obviously, that's a very, very big position. Him protecting the blind side for Drake May and keeping him upright. My ceiling for them, obviously, is Super Bowl. They were in the Super Bowl. I think they're definitely Super Bowl contenders with how well-rounded. As far as floor, I think it's wild card. Maybe just miss the playoffs. You know what I mean? Maybe Drake May takes a step back and, maybe injuries happen. I could see them potentially maybe missing the playoffs. But I think overall, I think they'll still be a wild card team, maybe a lower tier wild card team, like 7-6 or something like that. And excuse me. And then last but not least, Buffalo Bills. The strength with them is easily QB play. Josh Allen, probably the best quarterback in the league currently right now going on. I think that's easy. The weakness, I went a little different. I went with the history of the Buffalo Bills. The history tells us Buffalo Bills ain't never going to win shit. They went to 4 straight AFC championship games. You had the AFC championship game in your own building when the Kansas City Chiefs were playing some of the worst football in the playoffs. They couldn't score for anything, and you still couldn't get over the hump. You know what I mean? So history tells us that the Buffalo Bills will always not win a Super Bowl. And I just think that there's something that they have to overcome. I think it's a lot of things that fans hold back on, harping on to and stuff like that, where it just, it kind of seeps in there a little bit. Must prove, I think it's easily the entire defensive squad. They got to prove that they can, be comparable to what that offense is going to bring. We know that offense is going to score points. Can you just limit teams to less than 21 points? If you can do that, this Buffalo Bills team can win 14 games, can win 13 games. You know what I mean? This defense has to prove that they can do it. I like the back end as far as like some of their cornerbacks and stuff like that, but they need more pressure on the ball. The linebackers can do a little bit better protecting the middle. So they have a lot to prove. Ceiling, obviously, Super Bowl contenders. I think as long as you got Josh Allen, you're going to be Super Bowl contenders. Floor, I think as long as Josh Allen's healthy, wild card, I think they will always make the playoffs with Josh Allen. So,
for sure. I'm gonna kick this off with the Buffalo Bills. I think their strength is Josh Allen and James Cook. I think that as far as QB running back tandem goes, they're probably up there at the top. James Cook, he led the league last year in rushing yards. And when he plays good, that team is a different animal. You know what I'm saying? They're just hard to defend. And then you add in with Josh Allen, his running ability and his arm ability. It's just hard to defend those two when they're both clicking on all cylinders. So, yeah. As far as the Dolphins go, their strength was Devon Achane. That's their strength. They have no receivers, like literally none. And their offensive line is fine. It's okay, but yeah, I think Devon Achane, they're gonna win if Devon Achane has to go over like 100 and some yards, and he still probably won't win. Strength for the Jets, I'm gonna go youth, like you said. I just think they have a lot of young talent. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. You said David Bailey. They got some other guys on that defensive line. Amon Membu's another guy who had a really solid rookie season as far as left tackle goes. Just a very solid group, but still Aaron Glenn has to get the best out of the quarterback position, and that's Geno Smith. But I do think they have some young pieces that they can build around. And then the Patriots, I said their defense. I think their defense is their strength. You got Christian Gonzalez, who's probably one of the best corners, maybe top 2 corners in this league. Their defensive line with I think it's Milton Williams and some of the other guys on that defensive line. I think they're really good, and I just think that that team carried them to the Super Bowl pretty much, that defensive side. So I do think the offense has gotten better with A.J. Brown, but I still think the defense is still their strength. Weaknesses, Buffalo Bills. I got their secondary. I still got to see it. Travion White, he's getting old. Max Harrison, he seems like he has talent, but he can't stay healthy. So I got to see it. I think they traded away their best corner that they had last year to your Raiders. So I got to see it with Johnson, I think it was. Yeah. I got to see it. Dolphins, their weakness is their receivers. They got a young rookie in Chris Bell who can possibly be something, but we still got to see it. He's coming off an ACL tear. Kevin Coleman from my Mizzou Tigers, he has talent, but he's still a rookie. They got some guys that are starting this, probably wouldn't start for any other team. So I think the receiving core is the weakest. Jets is QB. It's Geno Smith. They go as Geno goes. If we get Seattle Geno, then the Jets might be at least a fringe playoff team, possibly. But if we get Raiders Geno, then they're going to be picking the top 2 pick. And Dante Moore went back for no reason. He's going to be the next quarterback for the New York Jets. And then the Patriots, I put O-line because, just because of the Will Campbell situation and some other stuff on that offensive line. They did add some pieces to that O-line. So we'll see how much better they get, see how much better Will Campbell can get as far as being a left tackle goes. But I still think there's some questions on that O-line. One player to prove. For the Bills, I got DJ Moore. Can DJ Moore rekindle what he had in Carolina? He's with Joe Brady. Joe Brady had his best years with Joe Brady in Carolina, where he was putting up 1,300 yards. If DJ Moore gives you 1,200 to 1,300 yards, then I'm with you. The Buffalo Bills should be the number 1 seed in the AFC. No questions about it, or at least vying for that number 1 seed. If DJ Moore can turn the clock to showing what he did in Carolina, the sky's the limit. One player to prove, Malik Willis, like you said, he's got a lot to prove this year. He's got to prove that he is a a starting quarterback, quality quarterback. Can he be a Sam Darnold? Can he be a Baker Mayfield? Can he be one of those type of guys who has a resurgence after being on a couple teams? Can he have a resurgence? He is with what's your name's brother, so I'm pretty for sure they run kind of the same system. But it still has yet to be seen. I'm still interested to see it because if he doesn't have a good season, even though they paid him that money, we all know those contracts and that ironclad. I'm sure they got an out. They'll be drafting a quarterback next year. One player to prove again, Jets, Geno Smith. He's got a lot to prove because if he doesn't prove it, he might be out the league. This might be his last year playing NFL football. He might be retiring after this, or maybe a viable backup. That's probably what he'll be. But he's got a lot to prove that he could still be a starter in this league. And then I got Drake May because even though he did have an MVP type regular season, he still struggled, especially going into the playoffs and in that Super Bowl. He struggled. We got to see if he could do it again. This is year 2. This is practically year 2 for him because he didn't play that much his rookie season. He started all last year. So last year was more of his rookie season. So this is his second year as a full-time starter. We got to see it again, see if he made improvements, lessen the turnovers. Can he take his game to the next level? Can he be the reason that the New England Patriots can win these games? So then ceiling for the Bills, Super Bowl. Dolphins, I had like the ceiling like 6 wins. Jets, I had 6 wins. And then Patriots, I have Super Bowl. And then flooring, Bills, wild card. Dolphins, top 2 pick. Jets, top 2 pick. And then the Patriots, wild card.
Sure.
So that does that for that part. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Its power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
All right, man. It's time for let's do our BetUS Surefire picks, man.
Let's do it.
All right, man. What you got?
So for today, I'm going to do all baseball. So I'm gonna take the Phillies minus 1.5 against the Nationals. I'm going to take the Cubs plus 1.5 against the Dodgers. And I know that's probably insane to say. And then I'm gonna take the Rays minus 1.5 against the Rockies.
All right, I took the Aces money line over the Dream. I took the Dodgers minus 1.5 over the Cubs, and I took the Yankees minus 1.5 too. So that's my little 3-pack right there. If you go to any of our social media platforms, you'll see the BetUS link. Go ahead and click on it. Sign up. Put all your information. First-time users only. You put the promo code JOIN125. You get 125% sign-up bonus plus 10% gambler's insurance. That's 3 risk-free bets on $100 up to $5,000. So if you bet $100 on your first 3 deposit and you lose your bet, you keep your money. You don't lose it. So you can go over there and win some money, or you can keep your money on your first 3 deposits if you lose. But go sign up. Tell them Cris Style Mal sent you. And that does it for our BetUS Surefire picks. All right, man, let's do our college football conference pyramid. This is a new segment that we're bringing with the college footballs coming up, doing the Big 12 conference. As you can see, the pyramid goes national title contenders, playoff contenders, and dark horses. And these are all the teams at the bottom. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's no national contenders in this division conference.
You don't have nobody?
No.
You serious?
No. Who?
I still have Texas Tech and I have BYU. I think they have a lot of talent on that team, especially what they did last year. Texas Tech, it's the guy that got hurt last year. He was really good last year. They still got a hell of a defense. They still got a hell of talent on that team. I understand the whole situation with the quarterback and them losing that quarterback, and I know that hurt a little bit. But I think they could be national title contenders, man. I think they do. I think they're very talented teams there. I got the national title contenders. That's my national title contenders.
My fault. I didn't mean to do that to you. Go ahead and give me your national title contenders, your playoff, and your dark horses.
Again, I had Texas Tech and BYU for my national title contenders. No matter how Chris feels about those particular teams, I'd still have them in there. Playoff contenders, I put the Baylor Bears just up there because they got my boy from Florida. I know he had, the quarterback.
No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, no, we'll see. I'm very curious to see out there. That's like one of my Hail Mary contenders. You know what I mean? Is Baylor. I just threw him up there just for a little fun. I also got the Arizona Wildcats. I think they brought a lot of their squad back. I'm rooting for that squad hell of hard for a particular player. Shout out to Matai. I also put Iowa State there. I think they're always consistently a very good team that always is on the fringe of being playoff contenders and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So and then as far as like dark horses, I have Arizona State. I got TCU. I got West Virginia. And I'm going to throw in my boy. I'm going to throw in, shout out to Dion. I'm going to throw in Colorado, man. I'm going to throw Colorado as a dark horse, hoping my man gets that team over the hump. So.
For sure. Now, my playoff contenders, I got Utah, BYU, and Texas Tech. Because I do agree Texas Tech still has enough talent on there they could make the playoffs. They could very well win this conference. I just gotta see if they national title contenders. That's what I'm waiting seeing on some of these teams to be national.
Still ultra talented though. That's an ultra talented team.
They are, but I gotta see it, man.
And that coaching staff is really
because you know why? Because we saw what happened last year when they was ultra talented. And what happened?
That was the quarterback. That was not the rest of that team. That was the quarterback. That defense played elite. Had nothing to do with the rest of that team, bro.
You see what happens when the quarterback is trash. We gotta see if this guy is any good. So if it was Swordsby, I'd be like, hell yeah, they national title. BYU is always gonna be there as far as playoffs, and Utah's always gonna be there too. I'm showing love, you know what I'm saying? I still gotta see it though, because then Utah lose their coach.
Utah lost their coach. They've been playing some inconsistent ball. If anything, I would throw Utah in the dark horses situation. But playoff contenders, not for me.
And then dark horses, I got K-State and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I think if Avery, what's his name? Avery Bradley, Avery Johnson, whatever the boy's name is, if he could play better this year, because they got talent on that squad. It's all on him, man.
We'll see.
And in Cincinnati, they've been emerging as one of the better teams. They remind me a lot of Texas Tech, that mid-major type team that just, they got talent over there. They starting to bring some people over there, got some good receivers. Quarterback is pretty solid. The defense is pretty solid. So, I put Cincinnati in the dark horse.
I want to sleep on UCF too. I think UCF has a good college football program.
They do.
They usually play pretty well. Yeah, we'll see. I think TCU is kind of like, I think they're going to climb up the ranks, man. I think TCU is always a hell of a program, and I think eventually they'll get back to the top.
I just got to see how they look they lost their quarterback. So
for sure. But I think Arizona, I think that's a veteran team over there. You know what I mean? I think they got a little bit useless, but
Arizona State lost their quarterback, so I got to see how that looks.
Yeah, we got to see how that looks too. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. I think the Big 12 will be an interesting division, man.
Yeah,
interesting conference.
So we'll pick this back up. We'll do ACC next week. All right, man. We'll do now it's time for Malls. It is now time for Maul's Random News.
All right, y'all. We all know what time it is. It's our favorite segment of the week, Chris's favorite segment of the week. A lot of topics that don't make it to the main docket, but they do make it on Random News. We also love hearing Chris's opinion that does not have to talk about the Chiefs. So, sir, are you ready for this week's Random News?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, man. First up, man, USC and Notre Dame have announced they are bringing back the rivalry, man. Starting in 2030, they signed off on a 4-game series from 2030 to 2033. USC and Notre Dame. They're bringing back their football rivalry, starting 2030, going all the way to 2033. Games will be either week 1. Games will be week 1 on 2030 and 2031. And then on 2032, 2033, there either be week 1, week 2, or week 3. What are your thoughts, man, with this rivalry getting back into motion?
So it never got deleted. So all they doing is damage control. That's all.
Yeah.
You can't fool me.
Look, they knew it was up, man. You know what I mean? I'm glad they signed off and all that, but
yeah,
we'll see what's up. Next up, man, billionaire John Morgan says his children must sign prenups before marriage or they'll only inherit $1 million a year. His reasoning is to protect the family fortune from being divided during a future divorce. Do you agree, disagree with how he's handling?
What's this again?
His name is John Morgan. He's a billionaire.
And he's only giving his children what, $1 million if he passes away, or if it's a divorce.
No. So he says his children must sign prenups before marriage, or if they don't, they will only inherit $1 million, and this is to protect the family fortune from future.
Man, I think that's smart.
Yeah, that's something you will do
for my children.
Yeah,
hell yeah, he ain't taking my money.
I ain't mad at it. You know, he made $1 billion, so he knows how to save that shit. So I'm sure he's been through a couple divorces himself, so he probably knows what's up.
Don't bring your problems to my bank account.
Nah, not at all. Next up, man, we do got a little bit of NBA news that I didn't add. Russell Westbrook, he is currently a free agent, and the NBA scout explains why Russell Westbrook is still unsigned. Quote, he says, I wouldn't touch him in a million years. You can't rely on him in terms of what's going to happen. Yeah, he'll have great games, sure, but he can't shoot. He plays his own way. He's not going to fit into a system. He doesn't really defend. In terms of truly building a winning team, you don't get him on your team. This is VIA Sam Amico. I think he does Sports Illustrated. What are your thoughts with that comment from a scout? And if this is Russell Westbrook's last stint in the NBA, what do you think he will be remembered by mostly?
I mean, damn, they hate him that much. Sheesh. My always thought with Russell Westbrook was he always gave 110% when he was on the court. He never left anything. He left it all on the court. He didn't shortchange. Yeah, he may not have been the greatest shooter in the world. No, he had his faults. He had his flaws. He did. But man, was he exciting to watch. And he was a hell of an athlete. And I always enjoyed watching Russell Westbrook. Maybe he was born in the wrong era. And if he was born in the early 2000s, he'd probably get more appreciated more. But in this shooting era, it is what it is. But I always appreciated Westbrook's game because he never shortchanged you, and he always brought it when he needed to bring it. So, and he had some games where he was clutch and he came up big in certain big games. So, and the triple double thing he had going for him. I think he still has a record for that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So he has that. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people say so what, but man, it was a record that hadn't been beat since Oscar Robertson. So,
right.
so it obviously it wasn't that easy. So, I'm always gonna show love to Russell Westbrook. I still think he's a Hall of Famer at the very least. So,
where would you have him as far as like point guards of all time?
Oh man, that's difficult.
You don't have to give me an exact number. You think top 5, top 10, top 15?
I would say top 15.
Top 15?
Yeah, I would say top 15.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. All right, man. Next up, man, Stephen A. Smith, man, he made some comments from he was on a podcast, and he had some comments with his co-host defending the current divorce system. I'll play this clip right here, and we'll get Chris's thoughts, man.
Rule of alimony is you are entitled to the lifestyle that was established when you were married, and that should not change. Now, if you get remarried, that shit goes away.
Well, what's the lifestyle? In other words,
whatever he provided.
Wait a minute. But he might have provided the house and the vacations and the car, right?
Yeah.
But that don't mean he provided 50% of his income.
There is a simple calculation that happens.
There is no simple calculation, Ashley.
Yes, it is.
You can't argue with the attorney.
Yeah,
she just said she was in family court for 3 years.
And alimony.
I'm not arguing with her facts. I'm saying don't sit here and act like it's justifiable. Let me tell you something, Ashley. Let me ask you a question, Ashley.
Gosh. I'm listening.
How worried should a man be about dating you?
Oh,
wait a minute.
No. Like what you just said. I'm talking about women like you that sound like that have that belief. I mean, should they look at you and go like this? Hey, you know what, Ashley, you're gonna be just fine. I'm asking.
Well, let me be unmistakably clear. Mm-hmm. I am simply telling you what the rule of law is, right?
I'm asking
unless you going down to legislative hall to change it. unless you're going down to legislative hall to change it,
Oh, shit.
that's what you're going to experience when you step into family law court and you are getting a divorce. Now, the other side
The
of it,
rule
you're
of
asking
Ashley
the rule
is
of
what I'm
Ashley.
asking.
The rule of Ashley is if we have children, take care of my kids. And I have a little bit too much pride and ego to tell you that I want A, B, C, D, E. I'm not doing that.
Gotcha.
Whatever I
all I need to
believe,
know.
whatever I believe, I'm not walking away without nothing, though.
For sure.
I mean, it's all circumstantial.
You should never walk away with nothing. No
Yeah.
man should allow a woman to walk away with
but
nothing.
but one
He should take care of her.
for sure, and I'm successful
all right.
in my own right, and I have a little bit too much
Right.
ego to say
I just need to check.
I want all your
I just need to
stuff,
check,
right?
Ashley.
'Cause
I just need to check. I just need to check, Ashley.
All right, man. That was the comments about the whole divorce system and stuff like that. What are your thoughts with the divorce system? Do you agree with the lady, or do you think there should be some reform to that divorce system?
That's a difficult question because at the end of the day, when you marry somebody, you know what you've married pretty much. And if you marry somebody who's motivated by your money,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think she's gonna want when you leave her? She's gonna want your money.
Yeah.
And there's women that are like Ashley, who she said, I'm prideful, I'm ego, I got my own career, I make my own money. Take care of the kids. Yes. Do I want something? Of course. You know what I'm saying? And it depends. It's more so just what do you have? If you have assets before you came into the marriage, then, and I know people don't like to hear this, then you might sit down and sign a prenuptial agreement. What you came in with, you keep. What I came in with, I keep. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all don't have that problem and you like whatever, if we do get a divorce, fine, she can have this, she can have that. Because some people are just like that. I don't care. He can have a house, or she can have a house, or she can have a car. I can give me another car and give me another house. Like they're just, it's like, what's your name say? It's circumstantial. It really is. It depends on the couple and the people and who's involved. But if you know you dated a woman who is motivated by money, who is probably a gold digger, you know she gonna want that. She probably gonna want more than half.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna want everything. And she gonna bring the lawyers involved.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a woman who, that's why I say, if you're gonna marry somebody, get you somebody who's independent outside of you. That she's not tripping about that. Like if y'all got kids together, take care of your kids, my man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That should be the main focal point.
Mm-hmm.
The babies.
Mhm.
The babies are our number one option. When the divorce happens, you focus on them babies, you take care of your kids with your, not just with your money, your time too. You know what I'm saying? You got to be there for them. But when it comes to finances, help, feed your babies, make sure they fed. And then as far as her lifestyle goes, no, I'm not sitting there saying you take care of her lifestyle. She need to go out there and get a damn job because she got to take care of we both co-parenting. We got to take care of these kids together outside of us not being together. But if you gonna give her a little something, if you got to give alimony, then that's just the law. Sorry, it sucks. It is what it is, and it goes both ways. By the way, it's not just I'm a man and I got to pay her alimony. If I make less than her, she has to give me alimony.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the law works both ways.
Yeah.
So I don't. It's not one sided. It's whoever makes the most money. You know what I'm saying? And as far as that. If she put you on child support, then I mean, hopefully y'all can sit in somewhere and work that out. You know what I'm saying? Where you can just say, hey, man, I'll give you this much for the kids and blah blah blah. You ain't got to take it to the courts. But there are some that they got to take it to the courts, unfortunately, and you got to pay your child support. But as far as this conversation goes, I think it's circumstantial. I think it's who you with, what their motive is. You know what I'm saying? If they came into the marriage knowing that you had assets, high price assets, money, cars, clothes, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And their motivation is I'm gonna marry you and then divorce you, then you knew what their motive was.
Yeah. Nah.
You know what I'm saying? But if it was a genuine, just like we just couldn't work out our differences, we really loved each other, but we couldn't get past this one thing, or infidelity or anything like that, and y'all get a divorce, then y'all got to work that out.
Nah, 100% agree with Chris. Next up, man, we got some comments from LaShawn McCoy and Emmanuel Ocho about the whole Tony Romo situation. I'll play this clip, man. Obviously, we'll get Chris's thoughts.
you to just be like, hey, bruh, let me get half the rest of my contract. Shut up, yo. Let me get half the rest of my contract. And if you're CBS, bro, it's like, hey, rather than us playing this out legally, we'll give you, if we still owe you 100, take 50, don't sue us. You just walk away and let's move forward. I actually think, Shady, I actually think here, that's the smartest thing for everybody. It's like, Romo, take this $50 million. Let's not drag this out publicly. Let all this lawsuit stuff play out. Take this bread. Y'all go your separate ways. We go our separate ways. Everybody keep it pushing.
Nah. Try again.
No?
I need my whole paper. All my money. I need all of it. Give me my bread and extra butter. You know why? Because every time they get a chance, they always try to short a brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I call Tony Romo brother because, bro, we in the same fraternity, the NFL. Okay. And it's a blessing to get on TV and can make more money than you made playing. It's a blessing to do that.
Facts.
And because you had a small hiccup or really think it's a hiccup, now it's an excuse to get rid of you. So when I signed this deal, you tell me how you all for me and my family and this and then the third, and we're going to make you part of the CBS family. I got one slip up, and now they judging me like Trey and Karen. You feel what I'm saying? So I just don't like that.
But Shady,
I don't like that, bro.
To me, it's one thing if Romo was still great at his job. I think the problem is Romo's just not great at his job anymore.
I mean,
that's not my problem.
But is he
signed that contract?
I look. That's one part. I signed that contract. But I mean, is there a big difference between him and Troy Aikman?
I think if you're broadcasting a game, an AFC Championship game, and you accidentally call Josh Allen Patrick Mahomes, when the whole world already thinks you have some sort of obsessive fascination with Patrick Mahomes, if you're constantly making like these weird noises or just telling jokes about golf, you know what I mean? Like,
Jim,
that's the problem, Shady, is like, the problem is just he's not great at his job anymore. If he's still great at his job, nobody care.
I just think, man, because I think Troy's decent on there. Romo used to be really, really good, but right now he's in the same little boat as everybody else. Brady, I love Brady, so I'm biased to him, but they're all in the same boat. Mm-hmm. There's some dudes. What's the guy's name? Is it Gus?
Gus Johnson.
Gus Johnson, college.
Gus smokes them dudes, but they ain't gonna give Gus Johnson $200 million.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? If you put them in the booth and they had to call the same game, he's gonna blow them out.
Mm-hmm.
But he ain't getting that type of deal. You get what I'm saying? So
you got barbecue back there.
We can say all that, but the truth is, like, it's not that big of a gap. It ain't.
Yeah.
Give that man his money.
Gus got some calls too, though.
Gus nice.
Gus got running away from the cops.
All right, man. That was some comments about the whole Tony Romo situation. Obviously, people don't know he got arrested, I think, in Wisconsin for a DWI, I believe, or DUI. Obviously, they made the comments on what Tony Romo and CBS should go through the future. Obviously, LaShawn McCoy was trying to defend him. What are your whole thoughts with this whole conversation? And where do you ultimately see what happens to Tony Romo, whether he keeps his job or not?
What's in his contract? Is this a violation of a contract?
I'm sure it's a violation of a contract because no company wants somebody who's representing them on TV to get a DUI or arrested.
They don't.
You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying, as far as the money goes, like, because that's what they're discussing. If he's gonna get half his money or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it depends.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's in the contract to say, if you do this, we're gonna part ways with you and you get half your money, then I mean that's in your contract, buddy. I don't care what LaShawn McCoy. You know how I feel about LaShawn McCoy. I think he's absolutely terrible in everything he does when it comes to commentating and analyzing stuff.
Yeah, you have expressed that.
Yeah, but look. Do I think that Tony? I'm gonna ask you. Do you think Tony Romo's gonna get fired?
No,
I don't either. So what are we talking about?
No, I don't think he's gonna get fired.
Now I ask you another question.
Well, you know what? It depends on how good JJ Watt does. If JJ Watt does really, really good, because you can't take Tony Romo. And sorry to cut you off. I can't see you take Tony Romo and downgrading him. I think it's either you put JJ Watt in, you see how he does the first. I think they'll give him like a month. You know what I mean? I think there's some big games in that month on CBS where they'll see how he does. And if people respond to JJ Watt pretty well, which I think people will. I've listened to JJ Watt commentate on some things. He does pretty damn good. And he does have a personality and stuff like that. So if he does really well those first 4 weeks, I think by October, mid-October, maybe early November, I think we'll get the notification that Tony Romo has been relieved. They paid him off. And then I think you'll eventually see Tony Romo maybe take a year off, and then he'll go to another network. Somebody's going to give him another job, whether it's Fox or whether it's NBC like he'll just have to take a backseat in most of those jobs because I think they already have their lead team in some key roles. Maybe he takes like maybe not instead of commentary, maybe he does like the pregame show, maybe he does the postgame show or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN stepped in and he starts doing Monday Night Football on the side, or they maybe give him a games, or Amazon Prime. I think Amazon Prime, some of their dialogue is a little, it's not the best in the world, but maybe they can use the upgrades. You know what I mean? Tony Romo will either keep his job or find another job because it's Tony Romo.
I'm in the warehouse.
And he knows Jerry Jones too. He knows Jerry Jones too, and they're gonna help. He's gonna help him get another job.
I'm not the biggest Tony Romo guy. I think he's terrible.
He was good when he first started because people loved the predictability when he used to be like, yo, this play is going to happen. And then the play did happen. And people were just such in awe of that. And, but I think people get annoyed by the voice. I think people get annoyed by, I know you probably don't like this, but a lot of people do think he has like some weird fantasization of Patrick Mahomes and how he just
has that with Josh Allen too.
He brings up a lot of with Patrick Mahomes though. Like he slobs Patrick Mahomes. And then I do agree. He had that instance where he mistakenly called Josh Allen Patrick fucking Mahomes. So like
I hear all that, but every time I hear him talk, he's always talking about Josh Allen. And then I've even heard him say the Buffalo Bills, they're the champions. I'm like, nigga, the champions of what? Nigga, the champions of what?
Either way, I don't think he's the most liked anymore.
Just that, don't know, what are we gonna do? That shit, like, get that shit off my screen, dog. Kevin Harlan holds up for the both of them because I think Kevin Harlan's one of the greatest of all time. But I would be fine without Mr. Tony Romo off the screen. I like JJ Watt. I think JJ Watt is solid. He does his job. I wish there was a way they can get Greg Olsen over there because I know a lot of people give Greg Olsen shit. I don't know why Greg Olsen gets so much flack. I think Greg Olsen is great. Every time I watch him,
Greg Olsen is amazing. Yeah,
he gives insight. He knows his stuff. Do you agree with? You're not going to agree with everything they're going to say. No, I'm not asking them to say everything I want them. No, but are you insightful with what you got to say? Can you at least explain what the hell you're talking about? That's all I need.
I think the whole point of being in that second seat, obviously you have the lead guys, is if you get the whole point of getting these NFL players to be in the broadcast booth is to educate said watchers on what to look for in the game. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why a lot of us who have watched football, who have watched basketball, we appreciate when you get guys who educate us on the game. So that way we can see, like a lot of us, like when we talk about sports, a lot of us we want to know what we're looking at. We want to be able to, when we go on our podcasts, to be able to understand what they're doing and what they're seeing and what they're viewing. That makes us better. Even though we've never played high level NFL or high level basketball, it's still in a sense of we're understanding what we're doing. And there are guys that do it well, and then there are other guys who just don't. So I agree. Hey, we'll see. But as far as like LaShawn McCoy and them keeping his money and why he gets upset, why people why he might be jeopardy losing his job. I'm like, brother, if you're hired by CBS and you get arrested from a DUI, that's a bad representation on the company. You're representing the company. So yes, my brother, your job is going to be liable. It'd be no different if you worked at McDonald's or anywhere else. You're the representation of that company. The first words that are going to come out of any news article is said employee from this whatever, especially in a high pronounced position like Tony Romo. He's going to be representing CBS. Sorry. Yeah. Do we want that? No, some people get a little bit more of a stick than others, but that's one of the reasons why Ryan Clark got fired, because some of the things he said off air that, depending on whether you agree with it or not, became such a controversy that if they made cuts. He was one of the ones that got cut. It just comes with the territory. Not saying I agree with Ryan Clark getting cut from ESPN, but those are some of the reasons of why a lot of these networks go through the cuts that they do. You know what I mean? Either you're gonna fit in line or you're not. And that's just pretty much what it is. Next up, we got some more news. Adam Schefter he commented a little bit more about Baker Mayfield. I don't know if we even touched this yet, but Baker Mayfield, he's going through his contract discussion. So I'll play this clip, man, and we'll get your thoughts on the whole Baker Mayfield situation.
Well, if he doesn't want to take the offer, that's entirely his right, and he is within his right to say, I don't like this offer. But to call the offer disrespectful, you judge for yourself. They essentially offered a 2-year extension, averaging over $50 million a year. And the money, the total money in the 3 years would have put him in the top 5 quarterbacks in the game. But I don't think he liked the length of the deal. I don't think that he liked it was a 2-year extension that would have contractually tied him to 3 years. The money in his mind was off, and he felt disrespected. And so Baker was insulted. We heard from him. The Buccaneers, I think, were disappointed with the way everything went down and what he said, and it creates a rather tough situation. Everybody's going to go forward. Baker Mayfield to shut down the contract talks. We'll see where it goes from here. And let's not forget, the Buccaneers have the franchise tag available, not only for next year, but the next 2 years. And in my mind, I cannot imagine if he plays the way that he expects to play, and the way we have been used to seeing Baker play, that they're not going to use the franchise tag on him for $47 million next year, which is less than the average of what they're offering. So we're in a rather odd spot for both sides right now.
All right, man. That was the comments with the whole Baker Mayfield situation. I know, again, we have not talked about this whole situation, but what are your thoughts with this whole Baker Mayfield contract talk?
Look, Baker has resurged his career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's no doubt about that. And he's become at least a top 12 to 15 quarterback in this league. What this tells me is that Tampa Bay saw last year, and look, he was looking like an MVP candidate at first, and then ever since that, from the time they was like he's an MVP candidate, he kind of had slipped. Now I know a lot of his players was hurt last year, so I give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. But towards the tail end of the season, Baker Mayfield did not play well. His play slipped, and I do think, and he's an older player. He's getting older. He's getting up there in age. I think Tampa Bay. And we talk about this. I think a lot of teams with those fringe older quarterbacks, Tampa Bay, Detroit, even Seattle, teams with 30-something-year-old quarterbacks who have resurgence, but they just can't get over their hump. They might be looking for the future next year. And maybe they don't want to tie themselves in with $50 million, a whole bunch of money into Baker Mayfield, because maybe they want to move off of it. That's why they probably did a 2-year extension, because maybe they draft a quarterback next year to be the heir apparent for Baker Mayfield. All right, you got a window to try to get us a Super Bowl, or get to the Super Bowl. And if you don't get there, we're going to pass the reins to this young buck, because we got to think about our future as an organization. And we tie ourselves into a 4 to 5 year contract with you, and then you start slipping. Now we just invested money into an older guy. So I just think that the Buccaneers are trying to protect themselves. I'm not mad at Baker Mayfield. He wants more money, but also to hear that he was going to get $50 million for over the next 2 years a season, and he was going to be top 5 paid. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, I get it. You want more years because you want that investment, but you got to understand, in this business, they're not going to put a whole bunch of years unless you're Josh Allen, unless you're Patrick Mahomes, unless you're, Joe Burrows or any of those type of quarterbacks. They're not going to put a bunch of years on your contract because they might want to move on.
Nah, I agree. I think at the end of the day, I think we all appreciate Baker Mayfield and what he's done for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he cannot deny reality. The perception of him is he is a flawed number 1 overall pick. You were the number 1 overall pick with the Cleveland Browns. They proceeded to let you go to Carolina. Yeah. Carolina had you. Then they proceed to let you go. You were a free agent. You got signed by the Rams. You had that one great game, come flying in right off the plane, playing the Raiders, and then you won against a terrible team. Let's be real, against a terrible team on Monday night. You threw the game-winning pass, and then they moved off of you and gave you to Tampa, or you became a free agent, and then ended up signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you've played pretty good, but the perception of you as a franchise quarterback is not there. You're kind of like in the same plight as what Sam Darnold was with Seattle. Like Seattle, yeah, they did give him the deal to a degree, but at the end of the day, the only reason why Sam Darnold's perception has changed because he ended up winning the Super Bowl last year. Now we'll see how he does in the future, but I think him winning the Super Bowl has given him the qualities. All right, we know we can win with him. You know what I mean? We know we can do that. No matter how you feel about that defense or whatever the case may be, Sam Darnold proved that. Baker Mayfield has not. Like, he's played good, but let's state this. Last year, he did not look so good. So if they're offering you $50 million, my brother, you take that. You take that for the next 2 years for your family, and you figure out and then if you continuously play well, they're going to pay you again. You know what I mean? I get it. He wants the years and stuff like that. He wants more of the stability, but brother, you're throwing away $100 million, maybe even a little bit more, depending. I don't know the whole line of the contract. But again, there's a whole bunch of youthful quarterbacks that are going to get integrated into this league. Bryce Harper is on the cut. Tua Tagovailoa and all those guys in Atlanta, they're on the cut. I don't care. Like, I know Tyler Shook played well, but he could potentially be on the cut. You got Jalen Hurts, who won a Super Bowl, who's been consistently winning, is on the cut. Like, there are a lot of players that are on the cut, like Kyle Murray, all these guys, man. So you are kind of like, you are a little bit above them as far as like what we expect from you, but you're not too far off. Like, if you have another bad year, so let's say Baker Mayfield has another bad year this year. What is that going to happen? Now you threw away $100 million two-year extension. Now you've played bad. And I get it. You're dependent on yourself. You expect to be great. No one's mad at you, that, my brother. And I hope you do well. But this whole team is going through this kind of like, this is a must-win year for this team. You done lost your star receiver in Mike Evans. You lost one of your backs in Rashad White, who we don't know if Bucky Irvin is going to be able to stay healthy throughout the year. You got Vita Vea, who's going through a contract argument right now, who potentially could be leaving. So you're going to miss your starting nose tackle, who's one of the best. Like, this team, and then you have a head coach who's on the fucking hot seat. Like, why would you not take the 2 years? And then if you have a bad year, what does that say for your future? You might be back in free agency, and it's going to be hard for you to get a starting job because you have fucking like 6 to 7 quarterbacks. Now, obviously, it depends on how they play this year. We said this last year where we thought we had at least like 4 or 5. It ended up only being 1.5 that ended up being like top tier quarterbacks that a lot of people perceive. Technically, only 1 in my view. Like, I don't know. Like, as far as like what Ty Simpson's been looking like in camp, he's been looking awful for me. Some of the videos I've seen, but at the end of the day, I'm like, where would this put Baker Mayfield in your eyes if he had a bad year?
Oh, they're not going to sign him to 50. They're going to rip that offer up, and they might even let his ass go. So, and go draft a quarterback or whatever. But I don't know what his agent is telling him. I don't because at the end of the day, he has to sit down with his agent, and maybe his agent is like, "Oh, you can get more," but I think that's bad advice. I think that he should have took that 2-year extension. Hell, he would be making more than Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
like Sam Darnold's making $37.9 million this year.
They offered you 50. That's $13 million more.
And he's only going to next year, in 2027, he's making $41 million.
And how many people you say? Sorry to cut you off. How many people did you say is making $50 million as a quarterback?
The Josh Allens and Patrick Mahomes, man, Joe Burrow.
Like, come on, dog. Come on, man. Come on, dog.
Like, you're not making that, and they're making more. Like, let's just get it. They're making more, but
yeah, but they all like
Joe
Burrow. We can have a discussion. We can have a discussion. I think talent wise, he is 100% up there with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. He's up there. Yeah. But Baker, brother, you're not that. You're fringe. You're a tweener. He's like a tweener. He's like a tweener from being like the great to being like mid. You know what I mean? He's like in that tweener position.
He's like fringe tier 2, tier 3 quarterbacks. Yeah. Like, he could be he's at the top of the tier 3s. Or maybe
I think he potentially can be top of tier 2 if he plays. Like, you know what I mean? But his downfall is
if you're gonna go through it, let's just talk about it. Would you take Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield right now? You probably
no.
Yes, you would.
You would take Sam. Oh no, Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield. Yes, I would take Sam Darnold. I thought you said Baker Mayfield over Sam Darnold. No, I would take Sam Darnold. Yeah, Sam Darnold, I would take over him. Would you take Jaden Daniels over Baker Mayfield right now?
Yes, because of the youth.
Would you take Cam Ward over Baker Mayfield right now?
Yes, because of the youth. And
Would you take who Who else we got? Would you take
Drake May? Of course, you're taking.
Yeah,
Drake
I would
May,
definitely
right?
take Drake May. Would you take Justin Herbert? I would.
Yeah, I would take Drake.
Even
I
though,
know.
even I'll be honest with you, Justin Herbert's another one. Would you take Kyle Murray?
That's a difficult one. He's more talented than Baker Mayfield, but I think they're kind of in the same boat.
They're in the same boat. I think this is a big year for Kyler. This is his best offensive squad that he's had. What about CJ Stroud? Would you take CJ Stroud over Baker
Not
Mayfield?
right now. No, because CJ has fallen ever since his rookie season. He has not been good.
What about Tyler Shook? Would you take Tyler Shook over Baker Mayfield? No.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it again.
Trevor Lawrence?
No, I won't take Trevor.
You want to take Trevor? Nah.
I seen some things in Trevor's game.
Look. I think Trevor Lawrence is kind of like in the same. I think Trevor Lawrence and Baker Mayfield are very, very similar. I just think the way they handle it is totally different. I think Trevor Lawrence is more PC. He's going to be by the book. He's not going to call out his organization during training camp. I think that was another mistake Baker Mayfield did. I just think he got too emotional in that press conference. No disrespect to him. That's always been Baker. That's always been Baker. You're going to get Baker. And I think when he did lash out on Tampa Bay, I think he did it in the most. I didn't think he did it like old Baker Mayfield. I think old Baker Mayfield would have been like ranting and raving, cussing, and being very disrespectful. I think he did it in the most professional way. Like, you know what I mean? He still said, I love Tampa Bay. I love this organization. I just feel disrespected in what they offer me. And I get it. If that's the way you feel, who am I as a man to tell another man what they feel like their value is on a team? Like, I'm not mad at that, but I just think there's better ways to go around that. And I don't know. This is a huge year for Baker Mayfield. This is a huge year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It really is.
It is.
All right, man. We'll keep it moving, man. We got an announcement from we got a collaboration I never thought we would get. We got KFC and Oreos. They have officially made a fried chicken flavored Oreo. The cream-filled wool is inspired by KFC's signature blend of 11 herbs and spices. Sir, how excited are you for the Oreo KFC collaboration?
Get this big bag energy about here now. What we doing, man? Trying to set us back as people. As a human race, not just black, as a human race, KFC is trying to set us back with this monstrosity.
And I made sure this is real, and it seems like it's real. You know, there's some credible Twitter handles that said it's real.
Burn down all KFC. No, don't burn them down. But still.
Nah, I feel you. I haven't eaten that KFC in a minute, but
the chicken is disgusting.
It is disgusting. They used to hit though. Them little honey wings. Honey barbecue wings used to hit.
The wings still smack when they put them out, but
they'll still smack. The honey wings still smack.
Yeah, they still smack.
Okay, I haven't had those in a minute. All right,
but the chicken,
nah, not the same no more. I used to like the mashed potato bowls too. All right, we'll keep it moving, man. We got another NFL news. Surprisingly, wide receiver Jalen Polk, second round pick of the Patriots in 2024. He has decided to retire at the age of 24. Man, how surprising was this for you to see that?
Very surprising. I thought that, he showed a little bit of glimpse, but, for whatever reason, he decided, maybe he had to step away. Maybe it's one of those instances he feel like he got to step away. Maybe he'll come back a year later. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hopefully his mental's is right. Hopefully everything is all right in his family or whatever he's got going on. And, whatever he's got going on next, hopefully, I wish him best success, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, likewise.
Maybe he didn't have, maybe it wasn't in, maybe he don't love football no more. Maybe he wants to do something else. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, I just pray that success wherever he does next.
100%. I totally agree. I wish him the best in success. And again, maybe this could be just a mental break, but hopefully everything is well on the family end and his personal life. And maybe it's just a personal decision where he's just mentally checked out. Did you have a baseball segment or no?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll throw this in here. Obviously, MLB trades have been going on, man. So the big news was Tariq Skubal. He ended up going to the Dodgers. He got traded to the Dodgers. A couple other trades. Luis Castillo, he went to the Mariners. Your Royals, they made some moves, sending some players to the Braves and some coming back. The Guardians, the Phillies, they made a trade as well. What are your thoughts with the whole MLB trades, man? You're a Royals fan, man. What's your thoughts?
Well, we just traded away our best pitcher to the Dodgers. They about to win the World Series. Go and pack it up. Yeah, Chris Bubich to left-handed pitcher to the Dodgers. Go and pack the shit up,
Really? Y'all
everybody.
just traded. Y'all just traded that.
Yeah, Jeff Passan just announced it not too long ago. He said the Los Angeles Dodgers are acquiring left-handed pitcher Chris Bubich. He's our best pitcher. Go on, hey.
Oh wow.
Go on, pack it up, baby. They just got the dude from Detroit.
Yeah, they got Tariq Schoolball. Yeah. So obviously with all these, so we'll stick it right here. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversation with the Dodgers and what they've been doing to the league. A lot of there are certain fan bases who feel like the league should get this under control. There are other people who think like, cry me a river, your team could do the same thing. Where do you stand with this whole thing? And do you think a salary cap is needed in Major League Baseball?
If it was, it'd be like a small one. I don't think it should be like a hard cap where it's like now everybody got a penny pinch to freaking get some players on their team.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, this has been going on for the longest. George Steinbrenner used to do this shit all the time.
Yeah.
When the Yankees was doing it, it was fine. Now the Dodgers, everybody crying wolf. And let's be clear, it don't mean that you're gonna win it all. Toronto should have won last year. Let's keep it real.
They should have won last year. They were the better team that last year going in. Yep.
Look, there have been some small market teams that have done really well for themselves. Now, yes, the path to getting there, it takes a little bit longer because they got to trust in their farm system. But still, it is what it is, man. But it's going to happen. They're going to hold it because it's too much smoke. It's too much smoke. It's going to be a salary cap. I don't know if it's going to be next year, but it's going to be a salary cap.
I don't think so. I think the players do not want that. And I think we're heading towards a mean-ass lockout. And again, if you're one of these teams that are mad about this, then why do y'all keep trading with the goddamn Dodgers? You guys don't have to trade these players. You don't have to. You are not obligated to trade with the Dodgers. They could have took the Brewers deal. They could have took a Phillies deal. They could have took a Yankees deal. You personally decided to trade this man to the Dodgers. Okay? There's a lot of teams that could do the same thing. All the Dodgers are doing is paying these guys and deferring their money 15 years down the line. You could do this as a franchise. All these owners are fucking billionaires. So why not get as creative as the Dodgers? I don't want to hear no fan base crying. Honestly, your franchise can do it, and I get it. There are levels to this as far as like what owners, and how much billions each owners have. But at the end of the day, man, come on, man. Y'all don't have to keep trading with the Dodgers. You guys don't have to, but you guys continuously trade to the Dodgers. You know why? Because their farm system is hella good. They probably got one of the best farm systems in the league. So all their money is they could keep their farm system and then it still will be great. You know what I mean? They just have the players to trade and the assets to trade to get said players. Why does your franchise not do that? So I think it's more look in the mirror and stop crying wolf. That's how I feel with this whole situation. We got a couple more. I have to talk about this. I got to talk about this. It's more NFL news. The 49ers and these injuries, dog. These shits is piling up. I just saw another one where Mikael Kamara that was diagnosed with a torn ACL. I think they just announced that. We have Mike Evans. He's out with a quad. Stribling, he has a hamstring. We heard about Ricky Purcell and his knee. He's out for the year. Christian Kirk, he has a calf muscle. Jordan James with a rib. Kalen Black with an abductor. I just said about Mikael. We got Keon White with an abductor. We also got Nick Bosa coming off injury. We also have George Kittle. He's on IR with his Achilles. What do you make of and we ain't even talked about the head coach. What do you make of this 49ers situation? Is their season already done?
I'm not gonna say it done because somehow, in some way, they figure it out and they end up being like 11 and
yeah.
They end up being 12-5 somehow, some way. You look up and it's like, how the fuck did they do that?
Yeah.
So I'm never gonna count the Niners out. I don't care. Once Kyle Shanahan gets his bearings back from his situation, he's gonna patch it up with some duct tape and some glue and be 12-5.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did it last year.
No, yeah.
And the year before that.
Yeah.
As long as he has a viable quarterback, they're fine.
Yeah.
And their running game is solid. They figure it out, dog.
I don't know, man. Like
I'm
you
not
still
picking
got
them to win the division or win. I ain't picking them to win the Super Bowl, or nothing. But jeez, they know how to manage this shit.
Yeah, I guess, man. Like again, you're getting Fred Warner back. You got you're gonna eventually get Bosa back. I think they got to figure out the Brandon Ayuk situation. They need to figure that out quick. It's just bad juju all over this team right now.
To make peace with them.
Maybe. They may be. All right, man. We'll keep it pushing. Joe Budden podcast, man. They made some comments about Meek Mill's new song, Nightmares to Dreams, which is the remix to this classic Dreams and Nightmares. Quote saying it's weird, arguing it's rare for an artist to remake their own biggest and most iconic record. JBP praised Meek's rapping throughout the track, but Joe Budden says it lacks the intensity that made the original rap classic, while Ice argues it feels more like a fast track to get people paying attention again. I'm sure you've heard the Meek Mill track. What are your thoughts with what JPP said about the Meek Mill song?
I get where they're coming. It's difficult to try to recapture that thing that song represents. Mm-hmm. And I think because of the pace of the song, you know what I'm saying, it starts out with just the piano and he's just spitting the bars, and then it turns up. And the beat switches is always something different about a song with the beat switch. And this one is just high tempo. You know what I'm saying? It just comes out the gate high tempo. It don't have the same type of energy. It's high energy throughout the song. And I actually like it, but it's hard to, I don't know if it's gonna have the same impact as Dreams and Nightmares, because they play that in the club, probably still to this day. You know what I'm saying? They play that joint and everybody's rapping it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's going to have that type of impact. I still think it's a good song, though, but I don't think it's ever going to compare to the original.
Yeah. Nah, I feel it. I actually didn't mind the song. I understand that it's kind of hard to because that's such a cult classic throughout all of hip hop. Yeah. I get it's a Philly thing, but that's played around everywhere, and just the level of intensity. I thought overall it was a good song. I don't think it was bad. I think he rapped it. I think he rapped really well. But I do understand that it is kind of weird to remake something such iconic. I get he was maybe trying to kind of bring back that fire. I think he was just mainly trying to get people to remind people, like, I do this shit. And maybe I'm assuming he has a project coming out soon, because I don't think you're doing this without putting out a project. But I do understand it, but I'm not going to give it as much critique as they do it, but I get it. Next up, man, we'll talk about Lamont Roach, man. He had his fight against William Zepeda over the weekend out here in Las Vegas. I did watch the fight. What were your thoughts? Obviously, he did not win. William Zepeda looked really good. But what are your overall thoughts with the performance of Lamont Roach?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had my mind set to watch this fight, but then I got not distracted. I had some other obligations I had to take care of. I was working on this cabinet that me and my lady had bought, and it totally spaced my mind. And then I looked up and it was 10 o'clock. And I said, I looked online. I was like, I forgot about the fight. And then I saw that Roach lost. I was like, what?
I watched the fight. I watched the whole entire thing.
And then I listened to what Crawford had said, and he said he was surprised at how Zepeda looked. But go ahead and give your thoughts, man.
William Zepeda looked amazing. He looked amazing. We've known him to be. He's gonna throw high outputs. He's gonna always keep coming. He's not scared to brawl. He's not. Lamont Roach, I was highly disappointed in him. I really was. Like, he looked like it just looks like, I feel like this whole Lamont Roach thing, I just feel like he failed to capture the momentum off of the Gervonta Davis stuff. I really did, man. He just looked very stationary. He wasn't throwing the output. He wasn't moving at all. He was so stationary in what he was doing. He was an easy target for William Zepeda. He'd been an easy target for me or you. It was just that bad for me, and it just looked like he was already defeated by halfway through the fight. It really did. I was truly disappointed by the Lamont Roach thing. Online, you had Shakur Stevenson rooting for him because he wanted to do the whole match and stuff like that, and I don't know, man. I just thought overall it was a bad performance from Lamont Roach, and it just kind of, I just think the Lamont Roach hype is dead after this fight. I just think it's over. I think it's over. Other boxing news, we had some news with Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney and the whole contract. Keyshawn Davis officially pulled out from said fight. What are your thoughts with the whole situation between those two guys?
I'm sick of these dudes. I really am. I just look, if you're trying to get more money, whatever. But
yeah,
that's just like, man, y'all hyped all this shit up just for you to pull out.
Yeah. Over what,
like,
$2 million?
$2 million.
$2.5 million.
More money than you probably ever made in your life.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not here to go back to, I ain't here to tell you how much money you make, but you said you wanted to fight Devin Haney. Take first bid and fight Devin Haney. If you beat him, you're going to make more money than you ever made in your life. You'll probably get a fight with Ryan Garcia. I guarantee you're going to make some money. Or even Rolly, or whoever Ryan Garcia is. Oh, I think Ryan Garcia, who's he about to fight?
Ryan Garcia is fighting Conor Benn. Rolly's fighting Teofimo in a couple weeks.
Yeah. But still, you got some guys you can fight next, and might be the A side. But it's just,
is your perception of Keyshawn Davis changing slowly?
It's already changed. I've had my problems with him ever since that time where him and his brother jumped the dude because he didn't make weight.
Yeah.
I just think that's just so unprofessional, bro. Like, that's your main job is to make weight. And
in your hometown.
And if you can't make weight, then bro, maybe professional fighting shouldn't be your thing.
Yeah. It's the same thing we said about what's his name? Fulton. Yeah. Same thing.
If you can't if making weight is your problem, then professional boxing is your problem. You shouldn't do it. Because this is weight classes that you even moved up to because you had a problem with the last class. And you can't make that. But lately he's been making weight, but it's just always some shit with Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah. He's on the same path as the Charlo brothers for me. Like, I'm over this shit.
It's always something. It's always some drama. It's always some BS. And look, there's always some, I think it's more so, what's his name? Daddy, they brings the drama with Devin Haney. Like, I think it's always Bill that brings that BS. But
he do, but he don't be. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of the things he be saying, he ain't far off the truth, though. He ain't far off the truth because sometimes he get proven. I'm not saying all the time, but he get proven right sometimes.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying it's just like Bill ain't stupid. He'll tell you.
Not stupid.
One man, I'm not gonna go against Terrence Crawford.
We all know the A side in this fight. Like, Keyshawn Davis needs this more than Devin Haney. Devin Haney will be fine. He'll find another fight. He has so many options. He's got this Keyshawn Davis's main fight.
He still has. If Ryan Garcia beats Conor Benn, he still has the Ryan Garcia fight on the table. Whoever wins out of Rolly and Teofimo, that's on the table. He still got Shakur out there. Whenever he's done with the Zuffa boxing, or unless I think what's name just signed a contract with what's your name, but still, I'm just saying, like, Devin got options. Keyshawn, if you lose this fight or you keep doing what you're doing, they not gonna give you no more opportunities, brother.
Yeah,
they not.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's just I'm sick of these dudes, man.
Yeah, Keyshawn Davis, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, my brother. Like, you're fumbling the bag so tough right now.
And you're talented. That's the thing about it. I think you're talented.
I think Keyshawn Davis has a chance against Devin Haney. I think he has an honest chance against Devin Haney. This is your moment, my brother. Like, I don't know if you can get this conversation back rolling again with Devin Haney, but my brother, you need this fight. Where else are you going? Where else are you going? I'm honest with you. Where else are you going? Because what other fighter can depend on you to get a deal done? At this point, it's at a point where you've already proven you can't make weight. You've already proven that you can't get deals done. Like, And you're not even the A side. You are B side, my brother. You are clearly the B side in this situation. I do not know how you are getting mad about $2.5 million. If you really want this fight, you take this fight, because that 2.5 that you're missing, if you beat Devin Haney, brother, you are the A side now. You are the one calling the shots. You are the one making the $8 to $10 million or $15 million, whatever the case may be. You are the A side now. And then on top of that, you know you're going to get a rematch. You know there's going to be a rematch clause with Devin Haney. So then you get to call the shots for the next fight. If you are so confident in your fucking skills, make the fight happen. I get you want to get your bread, but understand the position that you're in. You're on the B side, brother. You have literally did this to yourself. You have turned yourself from the A side to the B side based on what you have done in your fucking career.
I don't know.
And the mistakes that you've made. I don't understand what he's doing with his career. I don't. Somebody need to talk to him. Because he's heading down the same path as the Charlo brothers. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of like the same situation I talked about him, where he couldn't get over to Australia. And I understand, like, maybe that's not his fault. But again, it's something else with him. It's something else why he cannot get to a fight, make a fight, or fight, period. So are you going to be one of those fighters where we got to wait 3 years for you to get your shit together so you can have one fight? Like, no one's waiting around for you, bro. Sorry. There's too many great young fighters coming up. There's too many other eyes. There's too many other big fights that are coming up that we could care less about. Like, yeah, if you get to sign, yeah, we would care about Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney. But you know what Devin Haney going to do? He could do Shakur. He could do the winner of some of these other fights that are potentially. He cool. He's straight. He could wait for Ryan Garcia. Like, he could do all that. What are you going to do? Like, come on, dog. What are we doing? All right, man. We'll finish off with this. We'll finish off with this. SummerSlam, man, officially happened over the weekend. I'm gonna read some results, and then obviously we'll get Chris's opinion. So night one, Liv Morgan defeated Io Sky. Team Solo defeated the Bloodline. Shout out to Solo Sikoa. He was kind of funny. I watched all this shit. He was funny as shit during that fight. Gunther defeated Nick Aldis. Fatal Influence defeated Team Bellas. That's how you say it. CM Punk defeated Cody Rhodes to win the title. Oba Femi defeated Brock Lesnar in the Hell in a Cell match. Night two, Kevin Owens, man, he made his return. Seemed like everybody was pretty excited about that. He ended up winning the photo four-way match. Baron Corbin defeated Trick Williams, winning the title. Danhausen defeated Dominic Mysterio. Chad Gable defeated Penta for the Intercontinental Championship, and then Roman Reigns finally defeated Seth Rollins for the first time, which was a really great match. I enjoyed watching that. So overall, man, what was your overall opinion about SummerSlam, sir?
WWE's been very uninspiring.
Yeah.
Listen, there are some matches that were dope. Shout out to Nick Aldis. He showed everybody why he was one of the better wrestlers, for years. When he was in NWA, he had the longest reign title run in NWA history, I think over 1,000 days. Even his work in TNA, when he was the Impact, when he was Magnus, Nick Aldis has always been that. So what you saw on Saturday, he been that. Like, that's him knocking the rust off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that he would stay on as I hated that Triple H reinstated him as a GM. I wish he was just a full-time wrestler now, but I digress. I was surprised by the Liv Morgan Io Sky results. But okay. What other matches? The Penta Chad Gable match was dope on night two. Solo Sikoa he's over. You got to keep him as a babyface for now because everybody thought he was going to turn.
All that. I don't know if you can see it, but
I can't see that.
But damn, it's blind as hell, bro.
I can't see small letters like that. Solo Sikoa was the MVP of that match, and he's been cooking as far as being a babyface now. Like he's over. Like they love him. LA Knight is over. I know he got the pin. Royce Keys, he has solid. The bloodline thing is starting to, in certain instances, it's starting to get stale. It's starting to run its course. I did like this the Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. It was a cool match. It was cool to see Randy come back and RKO Cody. So they're probably gonna revamp that feud. KO coming back. That was great to see, especially what he came from with the neck injury. Wasn't expecting to be a fatal 4-way. I was at work and I turned it on. And I'm like, where the hell are Gunther and KO? What the hell he come from? So I didn't see the beginning part when Nick Aldis was like, hey, I'm putting on.
Yeah. He pretty much just like, yo, I got it. Yeah.
So I didn't expect, because I thought it was just gonna be Finn and Sammy. I thought Finn was gonna win, but whatever. So shout out to KO. I love him and CM Punk. I think that's a match that I've been wanting to see. I think the promos are going to be great because I think they have the same style when it comes to promo giving. They're very similar. I think KO's, he's a bigger guy, of course, but I think they're very similar in their styles and their approaches as being characters as far as wrestling goes. So I think that's going to be a dope ass feud. Hopefully they have a couple of feuds. I don't think CM Punk and Cody are done, but we'll see. Roman and Seth, we all knew Roman was gonna win. He had to dead that chapter with those two. So it was a really good match. Probably was the best match at both nights. But shout out to both of those guys. They put it. I didn't really care for what's name having to disrespect my man John Moxley like that, but I get it. He's in AEW now, so they had to throw a little shot at there. But it's all good. What else? Oh, Oba and look, I'm gonna say this about Oba and Brock in the Hell in the Cell. You didn't have to put that match in the Hell in the Cell. That was
you didn't. That was probably one of the weakest Hell in the Cell matches I've ever seen. I'm gonna be honest with you.
If I'm looking for Hell in the Cell, I need them boys broken, bloody, beat up, both ends. Somebody's eyeball hanging out, something. Because
why he power slam him through the brick boards? I don't get that shit.
If he was gonna do that, you should just made it a Minnesota street fight. I don't care. Call it something. No holds bar. I don't care. But that match was light when it came to that. Now the right person won. Now I still have my gripes with you. Let this man win King of the Ring, and then he foregoes his match against the champion.
Yeah.
And now whatever. Hopefully this is gonna put the battery in his back, because now that they didn't say he's the future.
Yeah, that was the whole premise. Yeah.
Monday tonight, it should be Oba Femi and Roman Reigns face to face.
Oh, you think it goes in straight into that? I think I could be wrong. Like obviously you know more than me, but I think that would be like the WrestleMania for next year.
So now we're gonna prolong my man after he done run the King of the Ring, and the King of the Ring rules are if you win King of the Ring, you get a title opportunity.
Yeah.
So we're gonna prolong it all the way to next year. No, he has to be in the title picture. Either that or he's facing LA Knight. Because I'm pretty sure LA Knight's gonna come out and feel like he deserves a shot against Roman Reigns.
You think they do like a triple threat match or something?
Something. I don't know. But both of them deserve it. Because LA Knight is over. Like over. Like when he comes out, the crowd pops. They love him. And I'm an LA Knight fan. I like LA Knight because he gives me throwback. He's like a mixture of The Rock and Stone Cold put together.
Yeah.
So, but still, it's just some of the stuff that some of the writing is bad. Like there should have been no reason that Danhausen and Don Mysterio should be on SummerSlam. That match was terrible. Money's on a pole match.
I didn't understand it. I was like, all right, whatever.
Because he took money from them and they've been asking for their money for weeks. But it's just like, why is this on SummerSlam, bro?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other matches that could have had this opportunity. Why is Tiffany Stratton in an inner match and she has a belt?
Mm-hmm.
We could have had Gilia versus Tiffany versus Blake Monroe for the U.S. title.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, you could have had a rematch with Raquel Rodriguez and So Ruka for the IC belt. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But Danhausen, like, they didn't soaked in so much of this Danhausen, and he is over, but y'all oversaturating him to a point where people are gonna hate him.
Yeah.
And that's what WWE. And I'm gonna talk about Triple H later because he's gonna be my hell no of the week. But because he's made some comments this week that I'm just like, dude, is so out of touch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But look, I give SummerSlam, I give it a 7, I guess.
7.
It's okay. But it's just like after going like Mondays, it's like a lot of this stuff is meh.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just like there's no direction in some of these dudes. Like you got like not having Braun Breaker on any SummerSlam, any card is criminal.
Is he hurt?
No, he's a tag team champion with Austin Theory, and he looks like he don't even want to be there. Monday when he came out, he didn't even want. His face was like, "Man, why the fuck am I here?"
Why are they? I feel like Braun Breaker is like one of the bigger stars. Man, I feel people love Braun Breaker,
and they've buried him.
Why?
I don't know.
Are they mad because of the injury or something?
No, they just buried him.
You think he's gonna end up leaving WWE?
I don't know what's gonna happen with him, but they better do something because they're doing a terrible job. Yeah, Trick Williams is flourishing, and we'll see what they do with Trick. Now that he lost his title, I heard that he could win the Money in the Bank, and I think that would be dope for somebody, a character like Trick, because he can hold on to that Money in the Bank, and that'll work towards his character. So I'm not mad at that, but it's just like Carmelo Hayes, another one. Why is Carmelo Hayes? He missed WrestleMania and he missed SummerSlam. Carmelo Hayes is a star.
Yeah.
Why is this man not on TV? Why is Javon Evans not on SummerSlam?
Yeah, Javon Evans was fired. That was the guy from WrestleMania, right?
Yeah,
the one that was in the ladder match with Rey Mysterio and all that.
Yeah, he was fired. Yes.
Yeah, he was fired. He's fired, yeah.
Why is my man not doing something on SummerSlam?
Yeah, I don't know.
And look, I think I love the Chad Gable. He deserved to win that IC belt. He should have been IC champ a long time. And shout out to Penta. Penta held it down for the IC championship. He put on some great matches. I'm hoping that this means that he gonna go do some stuff with his brother, because I want the Lucha Bros. But I still want my match. I want Lucha Bros versus the Usos at WrestleMania. That is like pinnacle tag team wrestling right there.
Mm-hmm.
Two of the greatest going against each other. I need that match at WrestleMania next year. And I don't mean one of these 5-minute bullshits. No, I need good 12 to 15 minutes of these dudes locking in.
Right.
I don't care if it's night 1 or night 2. I don't care. It don't even have to be for the belt, but WWE has to do what they do, and they always got to put a belt on somebody. So if the Usos got to be the champion, I don't care. All I'm saying, I want them 4 individuals. I need them in the match. Jacob Fatu is better than what he's doing with the Bloodline. What are we doing?
I feel like in a sense they're burying him in a sense a little bit too. You know what I mean?
They are, because now he's just a hit.
It's like a wingman. It's just like a hit wingman now.
He's just a mercenary. Just Roman just points in the direction, go beat him up.
Yeah.
So the writing is terrible. TKO has ruined wrestling. They have. They're ruining the product. And if they keep going down this road, because that's what happened to WCW. These networks that do not care about wrestling, they just care about the almighty dollar. That's why you see these damn commercials every 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like, not to get off track, but that's kind of like the same instance with the World Cup. You know what I mean? What they did, where he was trying to sell off. I don't know if you saw that, but heard about that, where they were trying to sell off the World Cup for advertising rights and stuff like that, and then UEFA and CONCACAF and the rest of the leagues said they would literally boycott, and they changed their mind hella quick, because if you ain't got European leagues, if you ain't got these top nations in these leagues, you ain't making no money. You know what I mean? Sooner or later, yeah, I think fans will eventually walk off of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I'll have more to say on my head.
For sure. Well, that was it for random news this week.
All right, man. Let's run through this AFC East stuff. We'll do the lightning round first. I'll start mine's off. Boom. Post this up here. So for the lightning round, MVP, I got Josh Allen. I think he's the best quarterback in this division. So I think he's going to be the MVP of this division. Offensive player of this division, I got James Cook. I think James Cook is easily the second best player in this division. To me, that's just my opinion. I think he's proved it over and over. So I got James Cook. Defensive player, I got Christian Gonzalez. Like I said, I think he's right behind Patrick Surtain. And in a couple years, I wouldn't be surprised if Christian Gonzalez is the best corner in this league. So, yeah, I got him defensive player. Rookie, I'm going to go with David Bailey. I think David Bailey is going to have a huge impact with the Jets. We all know what he represented Texas Tech, but I think he's going to take that and further do that in the NFL. I think his first step is just crazy. And I think he's going to do some great things in that defense. Bust. I was going to go towards a rookie, but I'm going to go with Bradley Chubb on that defensive line. Like I think he's boom or bust. They signed him to that big contract, and he could be an addition to that Buffalo Bill defensive line, or he could be non-existent.
Yeah.
So I think he has boom or bust to him. And then coach under the most pressure, I know a lot of people probably would think Mike Vrabel. I think it's Joe Brady. I think with Sean McDermott, say what you want about McDermott, but my man consistently got to at least the divisional round or the AFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. If they get bounced in the wild card this year,
or don't make the playoffs, period.
Don't make the playoffs, or Josh Allen has a horrible year or something like that, like the Buffalo Bills don't look right, whatever, I think that we might be seeing a one and done.
For the lightning round, for MVP, I agree with you. I think it's Josh Allen. I don't know how you say anybody else. Like, I guess you could say Drake May, but no, I'm not. I'm saying Josh Allen. Offensive player with you, 2 for 2. James Cook. I think he's easily the second best offensive player. I think AJ Brown could compete with that, depending on how he does. But I think James Cook currently right now, he's more comfortable in his role. He knows what his role is. We saw what he could be. I think he could easily be on the same tier as Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson. He's up there with those guys. He's amazing. Defensive player of the year, 3 for 3. Christian Gonzalez. Me and you saying we're locked in. Same mindset. You already know what's up. My breakout player is DJ Moore. I just think he finally has his best quarterback he's ever.
My breakout player. That's my breakout player too. DJ.
Breakout player. I have DJ Moore. I just think this is the best quarterback he's ever played with. I think we're going to see the DJ Moore that we saw when he was with the Carolina Panthers, and we saw a little bit with the Chicago Bears last year. You know what I mean? Like, I just think there were so many weapons that they have that he couldn't be the main focal point. I think he could potentially be the main focal point. Now, I love Khalil Shakir. He's going to be getting there 5 yards and him breaking away again. He's an excellent receiver. I love him as a receiver. I think DJ Moore is going to be the more explosive guy getting down the field. Josh Allen loves throwing the deep ball. He's excellent at that. I love the DJ Moore comparison. Breakout. For my rookie, I went with D'Angelo Pons, man. I really like him as a cornerback. I think he's going to surprise some people. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a couple picks. He's going to be kind of like the guy. Like, I agree. I think David Bailey, I think he's going to be a really good player. But I think D'Angelo Pons is he's gonna be like, damn. A lot of people are going to be like, D'Angelo Pons, where the fuck he came from? He came from Indiana, the championship Indiana.
If Pons was 5'11", 6 foot, he'd be a first round pick.
Easily. So So D'Angelo Pons, I like him. My boom or bust is Will Campbell. It has to be Will Campbell because at the end of the day, he is the left tackle for probably either the first or second best team in this division, and you're protecting either the first or second best offensive player in this division in Drake May. You know what I mean? So, look, it's up to him. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of feedback about his short arms and stuff like that. He started off the season pretty okay, and then towards the end of the season, he just kind of flowed off. So we got to see how much work he put in and what he can do. And I agree with you. I know people could potentially say maybe Mike Vrabel because of all the off-field distractions. People could say maybe even Aaron Glenn because we just know how it is to be a black head coach. But I 100% agree with you. It is fucking Joe Brady. It is Joe Brady, bro, because everything you said, Sean McDermott was able to get them to consistently to 10, 11 to 12 to 13 wins every year. I get the defenses, you know, some of them were really good, but then injuries happen and stuff like that. The balls didn't go their way in Kansas City, 13, 14 seconds, whatever the case may be.
13.
You know, we all, you know what, is that Sean McDermott's fault? I don't think so. You know what I mean? And I get it. There were some things with Sean McDermott that
blame Leslie Frazier for that one.
that could be like, and I get it. Sean McDermott sometimes can leave some things to be left desired, but he was an excellent head coach. He was a consistent head coach. He had the respect.
He's about to go to the Rams. They gonna beat, man.
He had the respect of that locker room. You know what I mean? He got the most out of Josh Allen and the productivity and turned him into an MVP quarterback consistently. Joe Brady. Some people say this was an inside job of him getting this motherfucking job. So, like, there is a lot of pressure on him where he needs to be able to prove that he can lead this team he needs to get them to the Super Bowl. He needs to get them to the Super Bowl. So there is a lot of pressure on him. There's going to be a lot of pressure on this fan base. There's going to be a lot of pressure from the ownership. Like, get it done, because there's already a perception on how you got the job anyway. I remember when Sean McDermott got fired and they ended up hiring him, some people had raised their eyebrows a little bit about that situation. So I agree with you, man. We're pretty much locked in for the most part about who we have in this division for a lot of these categories.
So, all right, man. Let's do our crystal ball. All right, man. So for my final standings, I'm going Patriots. I got Bills second, I got the Dolphins third, and I got the Jets fourth.
Okay. You want me to go?
No, I'll go. Division records, Patriots, I'm going 4-2, and then they drop 2 to somebody. Maybe 1 to the Bills, 1 to like the Dolphins or something like that. Yeah. I got the Dolphins going 2-4. I got the Jets going 1-5, and I got the Patriots going 4-2.
Okay.
And then number of playoff teams, I said 2, Patriots and Bills. Bold prediction, I got DJ Moore being the top 5 in receiving yards this year. And then surprise prediction, Jets will be a fringe playoff team.
Okay. My standings, I got the Bills 1, I got the Patriots 2. I think you could flip-flop those. It just depends on how you feel. I got the Jets 3, and then I got the Dolphins 4. My division records, I got the Bills and the Patriots 4-2. I think they kind of split with each other, and then I think they get some surprising losses to the Jets. I got the Jets 2-4. So I think they could be surprising some people. And then I got the Dolphins. I got them 0-6. I'm sorry. I just don't have no faith in this team. Playoff teams, I agree with you. I got 2. I got the Bills and Patriots. My bold prediction, same as yours. I got DJ Moore will break 1,000 yards receiving this year. That's what I have. And then my surprise prediction, same. I got the Jets winning 6 to 7 games this year. So they're going to be a fringe playoff team.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. So that does it. Our AFC East. I will probably do the NFC North next week.
For sure.
We'll save our division for last. All right, man. You got anything else?
No, sir. I think we hit everything.
Who gets your flowers of the week?
My flowers of the week. I'm gonna go with Kelsey Mitchell and her performance. And she's been killing it these last 14 games, man. She's been doing amazing. So again, I want to show her some more flowers as well. I want to show the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx. She wore a t-shirt about transgenders and sports and stuff like that. I love her promotion and her self-awareness with that. So I definitely want to show her some love on that situation as well. Anybody else? I want to shout out to this week will be my grandmother's birthday. God rest her soul. She's best friend. It'll be her birthday tomorrow. And then it will be my mom's birthday the following day. So I want to shout out to those two beautiful women who've been a very big impactful on my life. I want to wish them a happy birthday and definitely give them their flowers for sure.
Yeah, for sure. My flowers goes to Sydney Taylor, guard for the Chicago Sky. She's been killing it this whole week from July 20th to August 2nd. She's been averaging 23.8 points a game, 3.3 assists, 2.5 rebounds. She's been balling out, man. Like I said, she hit that game winner on Saturday against the Aces to win 85 to 80. I think it was 84 to 83. But she's been balling, man. And like I said, Chicago Sky, they got to build around her. Her and Camila Cardoza, they got to be the future of this team. So, shout out to her, man. All right, brother. Who gets your hell no?
My hell no goes to the gentleman who there was a shooting in Idaho at an In-N-Out. I believe killed 3 people, injured a couple more. So that person definitely gets a hell no. I definitely want to send out my prayers to everybody that was involved. I think In-N-Out even announced that one of their workers was tragically killed in that situation. So I want to send out prayers to everybody who was involved, and then the gentleman that was involved with the shooting, man. Obviously, he definitely gets the biggest hell no of the week.
Yeah, for sure. My hell no goes to Triple H. He was on all week promoting SummerSlam, of course. He made some comments about the fans and how he feels like the fans just need to concentrate on the actual wrestlers and not worry about the storylines. And I'm just like, sir, you are in a fan service business. You are here to appease the fans and what they like. Not what you like, not what TKO likes, but what we like. And if we don't like the product and it starts getting stale, guess what, brother? We got other options out here. This ain't what it used to be where it was just WWE and y'all could just do whatever y'all want. Y'all keep on going down the road you're going. And them price tickets, all them ticket prices that's going high and stuff, people won't stop going to your events. People gonna stop watching. They're gonna unsubscribe to their ESPN subscriptions. And then what you gonna do? Y'all better get the TKO and y'all better get some better writers in that room. Also, another one you said finally people could stop saying that WWE is pro sports. Well, sir, why are you promoting on a pro sport platform called ESPN? Every time I look up, I see Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, or whoever y'all want to put on First Take or Pat McAfee to promote whatever PLE that we got.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you promoting on a pro sports program?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that makes no sense. Like, Triple H this week, he seems so out of touch. And it just seems like when fans complain about the product that they produce, we just supposed to sit back and just accept whatever y'all give to us.
Yeah.
Oh, go touch grass, whatever. Still, I want if Mark watches House of Dragons and he thought season 3 was terrible, he gonna voice that season 3 is terrible. You think the writers are gonna be like, well, I think that the fans need to just concentrate on the characters? No, they're gonna do their best to make sure season 4 is better. And look, I get it. It's a difficult business to write for because it is a week-to-week business. You don't have an off season. You don't have a time to recalibrate and sit back and write a script. But this is the business that you chose, player.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe expand your writing team and say, look, this writing team is for the women. This writing team is for major stars. This writing team is for the mid-card. And y'all all come together and y'all write a good script. Is everything gonna be perfect? No. But there's a lot of stuff that y'all do that just don't make sense.
Yeah.
And Triple H, I don't know what happened to you, brother. When you was in NXT Black and Gold, at one time you had the best show on WWE because of your booking. You knew what you were doing. I don't know what happened to you when you came to the main roster, brother, but you have been terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know the money. You lost your way. You stopped caring. Maybe you did. Maybe TKO has taken over so much it's taken the love out of it. You just like whatever. But at the end of the day, brother, it has not been good with WWE. It has not. With some of the stuff and some of the direction that you're going with. I'm so grateful for AEW. I know a lot of people be like, oh, well, AEW, I don't care. AEW is killing it right now to me. So, Triple H, y'all better get it together. I'm telling you, don't get arrogant to it. I know a lot of people be like, oh, it's WWE, they ain't going to. All right. I'm sure somebody said the same thing about WCW. So,
see, man. It's gonna be interesting rest of the year for WWE, man.
They better get it together. And they better and look, I'm not saying that fans ain't their fault too. Because we do a lot of fantasy booking, and when we don't get the guy that we want, it's fire and brimstone. But at the end of the day, we know more than what they think we know. So, and it's sad that we can fantasy book better than some of y'all writers. But yeah.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
All right, good people. Appreciate y'all rocking with us today. If you want to donate to the Cris Style Mal podcast, you can donate to $ Cris Mal podcast. We'll appreciate whatever you donate. Whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you use to do your streaming, we are available. Also, first-time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification buttons when we go live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can jump in the live with us. You can talk about these topics. We want to hear from you. We want to get your opinion. Yeah, man, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Twitch, whatever you use, you can follow us at Cris Style Mal. We will follow you back. We're just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various other things. If you have critiques or feedback, or if you have a question or topic, and we like said question or topic, we will bring it up. We will shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up via DM, emails, or our mentions. All right, good people. Until next Monday, hope you guys have a good rest of your week. We got the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. So football is going to start kicking off. Training camp is kicked off. Hope you guys, the pads are on. I know Maul's excited about that. I saw Kirk Cousins running and shit. I don't know what the hell he was running to, but, you know. Guess he's trying to show he still got it.
Who, Kirk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, man. I loved it. You know what I mean? You're out here to prove people wrong. But look with the franchises that I love, the Raiders and the Lakers. There's a lot of hate going on out there. You know what I mean? And
meanwhile, Saturday, Chief Keenan was in shambles over a 5th round pick.
What happened?
They was in shambles, Mo.
Why?
Because the wide receiver we picked, Cyrus Allen, he's been killing it in the all season.
Oh yeah, he got hurt. Didn't he get hurt or something?
Like he ran into Kyler Elam during kickoff. So everybody's mad at Dave Tope because they're like, why you got him out there in kickoff and he's out there doing his thing? But he's a 5th round pick. Like all 5th round picks got to play special teams, my brother. Yeah. Like that's just
that's how you make the squad, my bro.
It is what it is. But he has shown some things. But at the same time, it's like we still gotta see the shit in pad. Like he been doing good. I try to tailor my expectations because I gotta see what the pad's on. But still, everybody was in because he got hurt. But it's only a bone bruise. He'll be all right. I'm more concerned about Xavier Worth.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, you know, they're saying not one of our rookies, cornerback Hezekiah Massis, man. He's been killing it.
Has he?
Cornerback. Yeah, they say he's been killing it. So
my boy Peter Woods, baby.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, look, man, season's here, man. We got look, I'm excited for the Hall of Fame game. Like, we all know the story, man. We're gonna watch it and we're all gonna be bored by in the first week.
I just
end of the first
get
quarter,
the ball to Jeremiah Love, man.
Is he even gonna play?
He better.
I don't think he's gonna play. They announced
get his ass out there.
Carolina announced Kenny Pickett is gonna be the starter for that game. So we'll see. I don't expect any of the starters to play at all. Who?
Carson
Beck. Yeah, I think Carson Beck's probably gonna start. I'm interested. They said he's been killing it in camp. They said he's been killing it pretty good.
You know who hasn't? Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know.
Marvin
He doing that shit on
Jr.
purpose.
And he looking bad. The videos I seen of Ty Simpson, he looked awful. Like this man was scrambling he was protected very well in that pocket. And my man was scrambling like he had 10 motherfuckers around him. I'm like, bro, it's over, bro. You wasted again. This comes back to the Rams. Like, look, I know they're overly talented, and we all assume Aaron Donald is going to be on this team by like October. Yeah. But you could have had Mekhi Lemon on this team, dog. You could have had Mekhi Lemon. You could have had Ruben Bain. You could have had so many other motherfuckers on this team. But you decided to just pick Ty Simpson that was going to be there in the second round anyway. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
it is what it is, player.
I got to stop listening to Dan Orlovsky all the goddamn time.
He's the top guy over there now.
Man.
Not a Ryan Clark, man.
No, they signed Steve Smith. I think Steve Smith's going to be a part of them a little bit more too. I saw
Smith
that.
Senior?
Yeah. I heard Steve Smith. They're gonna because obviously they own NFL Network. He's on NFL Network, but I heard he's gonna because I know he did get up one day. So I think they said they're gonna bring him over and do a little bit. I like Steve Smith. Steve Smith's
Steve Smith is good. You go watch his podcast. He be breaking down.
I fuck with Steve Smith. Yeah. No, I like him. He's legit.
So. But yeah, shout out to Steve Smith. But yeah, man, till next week. Hope y'all guys have a good week. Stay safe out there. Till next time, we go.
Adios.